Races through baseball.
It's sweet just going around pretty much the whole world and playing the game of baseball.
And then any goals for the rest of the season?
Say just keep focusing on my swing and hopefully being a leader in like extra base hits and slugging for sure is one of my goals.
Awesome. Cooper Saselski ahead of today's game. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
But it's a new day, and Anchorage hopes to right the ship against its in-town rival, the Glacier Pilots. The Bucs and the Peas face off for the first time in over 2 weeks, and we are pleased to bring you Game 11 of the ABL season from McKay Stadium here in Anchorage, Alaska. Welcome up inside the broadcast booth, everyone. Milo Hoffman alongside Alex Burstein. Now, the season started out very well for Anchorage. They got out to a 7-2 record, 2 straight losses, and an absolute blowout last night to the Chinooks.
Yeah, the airs are racking up, and most importantly, the Bucs offense just did not look itself. Didn't record a single extra base hit, and only recorded one extra base hit, and it just didn't seem to be clicking as a team. You have to have everything working, and that hasn't been the case the last couple of games for the Bucs. Luckily, you still have 3 games this week to try to get something going. You still have that first place record in the league, but you really have to pounce early in this one. But actually, I'll take that back. You don't have to pounce early. You have to pounce balance, because yesterday, first inning looked really good for the Bucs, and then it went all downhill from there. If you can have a good first inning, a good middle inning, and a good end inning, that's how the Bucs can do it here today.
Yeah, you mentioned the Bucs started off strong. Landon Underhill hit a 2-run shot to start off the game, but then now the Bucs are going on 10 straight scoreless innings coming into this matchup with the Glacier Pilots. Now, we talked about that game last night against the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. Let's take a look back at how
Alex Burstein here. Cooper Saselski ahead of today's game again.
Anchorage Bucs baseball is on the air. The Bucs, for the first time this season, trying to get back in the win column after a heartbreaking loss last night to the Miners. The Chinooks, well, they're off to a 1-7 start. They're trying to get back in the win column for the first time in a few days, but both teams desperately need a victory on a sunny day in Anchorage. 1 ball, 1 strike. The next pitch is hit high in the air towards right field. This ball's got a chance and gone. A 2-run shot from Landon Underhill for his 2nd home run of the year. No doubt about it, and the Bucs lead 2-0 in inning number 1. 2 strikes on the left-handed hitter. Toger veers over at second base, now fires. Swung on and bounced towards second. Underhill gloves it to his right, throws to first, and it's a wild throw. Coming in safely to score is Aiden Tauscher. The ball went out of play, so getting a free bag is Perito. And just like that, it's a 2-1 lead for the Bucs here in the top of the 3rd. The cleanup man tonight for the Chinooks popped out to first base in his first play appearance of the day. Next pitch is hammered towards center field. Running back is Kai McGarry, and he watches this one clear the wall. 400-foot blast for Brady Groves, his 2nd home run of the season, and we're all tied up here at Mulcahy Stadium.
Well,
Hockmeyer waves his white bat in the air. 1-0. He shows bunt down the third base line. Trying for third base. There will be no throw to first. It bounces off the glove of Bantam. 1 run comes in to score easily in Tate Green. And another error for the Bucs. The fielding has just been a mess. It's a 3-2 Chinooks lead. Here comes the 0-1. That one lifted towards left field. This is a chance and gone. A 2-run shot off the bat of Jake Mitchell. His first of the season. And get this, the 2nd of the inning for the Chinooks. Just like that, it's a 5-2 Chugiak lead.
very complete. 2-2 pitch is lined up the middle, base hit. And an RBI for Brady Groves. Carson Clark touches home, and now it's a 6-2 ball game. Chinooks on top. The hitter's Tate Green. Pitch to him is hit high in the air towards right field. Yule gives a look. It's in the corner. Fair. It bounces up against the wall. 1 run comes around to score. Clark right behind him. He's in easily. And that's a 2-ribby double. And just like that, it's an 8-2 game. Here's the pitch, lined up the middle. Kai McGarry drifts back. He can't make the play. It's over his head. Tate Green comes in to score. Hockemeyer around second. He'll dig for third, and he's in standing. That's an RBI triple for Nick Hockemeyer, and the score is 9-2 Chugiak. Hale comes set at the belt. Here's the 1-2 hit on the ground, right side through. That's another run for the Chinooks. Make it 10-2 as Mitchell singles in another run for Chugiak. Here's set. 2-2. Grounded right side through again for a base hit. Just squeaked by. Run comes home to score. 11-2. And the rout continues. The nightmare continues. And the Chinooks are enjoying this Tuesday night here at Mulcahy. He comes on for Kai McGarry, the center fielder. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit to short. This is playable. Tate Green has time. Fires to first, and they got him. That's the ball game. The Bucs lose 2 in a row for the first time of the 2025 summer by the final score of 11-2. An absolute rout handed by the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks.
Alex Burstein here with Cooper Selski have today's.
Just an absolute demolition handed by the River Chinooks over there for their second win of the season. And Alex, that was really the first time all season long we saw the Bucs get demolished like that.
Yeah, 3 losses this year. The first 2-run deficits for the Bucs. That one 9. So big difference there. And you don't want to say that the team gave up, but really after a couple of innings, you saw some very questionable calls. We saw some bunts that didn't really make sense, and the team just did not really have its mojo for the end of that game. Obviously, it's a new day. You want to turn the page on that one, but you really want to see the energy get up here for this big clash with the Pilots.
Yep, the Bucs playing the Pilots for the first time in over 2 weeks. Now, if you flash back to 2 weeks ago, the Bucs played the Peas in the first 2 games of the season. It was supposed to be a 3-game series, but then one of those middle games was canceled via rain, so they only played 2. The Bucs took both of them to get off to a nice 2-0 start. The Glacier Pilots are 4-5 on the season. They've been back and forth. They went up to Fairbanks to play the Goalpanners in the Midnight Sun game, lost 2 of 3 there. So they're hovering around 500, sort of that mediocre team in the ABL this season. It's the Pilots and the Bucs here at Mulcahy Stadium. We'll go to the starting lineups in a little bit, but a guy that's in the starting lineup for the second time in a row, Cooper Soselski playing left field. He went 1 for 4 last night, and before the game today, Alex Burstein had a chance to catch up with the left fielder.
Alex Burstein here with Cooper Selski have today's game against the Pilots. Cooper, you didn't play much this past spring. What's it been like getting some more reps this summer and kind of get back in the swing of things?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's great just getting back in a rhythm and a routine. It's always a lesson every day to play the game of baseball. It was a rough patch this past year, not being able to play due to an injury, but back out here and ready to get after it.
What's kind of your development been like over this first month in Alaska?
Just working on getting that swing back, just focus on good timing and finding barrels.
And then for you, recently committed to Southeastern. Why was that a good fit for you, and what are you looking to do with that program?
Yeah, so previous coaches are now coaching at Southeastern, so I kind of had a connection there, and I love playing for the coaching staff at Southeastern, so really looking forward to that.
For you as an outfielder, what have you kind of been working on most here in Alaska and trying to improve on defense?
Yeah, just having good routes and working on my arm strength.
Alaska, how cool is it for you to be able to explore these new places through baseball?
It's sweet, just going around pretty much the whole world and playing the game of baseball.
And then any goals for the rest of the season?
I'd say just keep focusing on my swing and hopefully being a leader in like extra base hits and slugging for sure is one of my goals.
Awesome. Cooper Soselski have today's game. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much to Cooper Soselski for taking time to talk to Alex before the game. We'll go right into the starting lineup for the Bucs as they lead off the top of the first. Kai McGarry batting leadoff. He's in center field. Right behind him, Logan Yule bats second over in right field. Reese Sherman, the DH, he's batting third. Landon Underhill over at second base. He's batting cleanup. Luke Taylor right behind him in the 5 slot. He's catching for the second time this season. Cooper Soselski, you just heard from him. He's over and left, batting 6th. Nate Muncy getting the start over at first base, batting 7th. Jaden Toki back in there at third base, batting 8th. And then rounding out the lineup is Grant Haas, the shortstop. And on the mound for the Bucs is RJ Rouet, the pitcher, making his 3rd start of the season. He boasts a 1.13 ERA with 13 strikeouts over 8 innings pitched. The Glacier Pilots are running out onto the field after the starting lineups are being introduced here at Mulcahy Stadium. And this is a big one for the Bucs to try to get back in order after losing 2 straight for the first time this season. We're going to head to the PA announcer for the national anthem here at Mulcahy Stadium.
We now ask that all fans in attendance please rise, and gentlemen, remove your caps as we salute our country with the playing of the national anthem.
Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium, just following the national anthem here in Anchorage, Alaska. 3-man umpire crew for this matchup between the Bucs and the Pilots. Kyle Stotts is over at third base. Kenny Atkins, the umpire, at first base. And then Ethan Mulcahy over at home plate will be calling the balls and the strikes. Nice day here in Anchorage, Alaska. Clouds peer over us as the cotton still flies over this Mulcahy Stadium outset. Interesting to see. Now the second day in a row this has been the case, but we'll see how it goes throughout the entirety of the game. But turned into a nice day, a little bit cloudy in the morning, but overall a nice one for baseball. Game number 13 for the Bucs in 2025. As the first pitch is being thrown here at Mulcahy Stadium. The Pilots are in their all-white unis, boasting the white top with the white pants, the white hat in the front, and the blue in the back. Meanwhile, the Bucs are in their black tops and gray pants with their navy coloring hats over top. A big game for the Bucs, trying to win after losing 2 straight to the Glacier Pilots, and the Bucs are going to have to face BJ Rodriguez, who's a pitcher on the hill for the Pilots.
Yeah, Rodriguez has looked really, really good early on this season. Doesn't have a win or a loss, but a 1.29 ERA through 2 starts. Very, very impressive stuff out of Rodriguez. Flirts with a fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, and we've heard trying to slide in a cutter as well. So a big pitch rotation for Rodriguez. As we mentioned, it is his 3rd start of the year, and he'd love to get a long one because the problems for this Glacier Pilots team has come with their bullpen. If they can get a good 5-6 innings out of Rodriguez, that will help him big time.
Now 11 strikeouts for Rodriguez, just 2 walks. A real good ratio there. He controls the ball well. We'll go through the Pilots defense as they're out on the field taking their warm-ups. In the outfield from left to right, you got Luke Medhurst, Andrew Becker, and Scotty Fagan. In the infield from left to right, Landon Teasing over at third, Dylan Marks at short, Weston Maisie at second base, and Hunter Klotz is at first. Adam Burkhalter doing the catching for BJ Rodriguez, like we just talked about. Kai McGarry getting set to lead off this game, and it's big for him to get off to a fast start. The offense has been good to start off games for the Bucs, but it's that consistency that's been lacking.
Yeah, yesterday the really only big inning for the Bucs on offense came in the first when Landon Underhill, the cleanup man tonight, blasted one over the right field wall, and then things came crumbling. So you'd love to see them get these early runs and then keep it going through the second inning and beyond. But it all starts with the first, and if you can get into the pitcher's head, that would be big here against Rodriguez, who, as we mentioned, has been very dominant so far this season.
Second straight night, the Bucs are facing a lefty on the mound. Last night it was Christian Foltz for the Chinooks, and he looked real good, just giving up that first inning home run to Landon Underhill. Worked into the 6th inning for the second time against Anchorage this season. Warm-ups are ending here at Mulcahy Stadium. Fielders still taking their ground balls. Pilots come into the day 4-5, 2.5 games back of first place, and the Bucs are in first place with a record of 7-3. They've looked good. The offense has been good all season long, but 8 scoreless innings coming into this matchup against the Glacier Pilots. So we'll see if they can break that route early on in this one and try to get back on the board, because sometimes that adds up on you.
Yeah, it definitely does, and you just don't want the Bucs to be in their head. 2 nights ago, they had the big loss to the Miners where they gave up a 9-run inning. So you just got to forget about the past, have a short-term memory, and try to just focus on this game today against the Pilots.
Rodriguez set, McGarry ready. Here's the first offering taken high and wide, and we're underway here at Mulcahy Stadium. Nice day for baseball. Crowd still filing in. Like I said, the Bucs in their black tops, gray pants. McGarry wiggles his bat in the righty box. Here's the kick and deal from Rodriguez. Swing and a miss. A 1-1 on Kai McGarry.
Well, we saw the lefty pitcher Foltz yesterday. What he worked really well against McGarry was those inside pitches as a left-handed pitcher. We see early on Rodriguez trying to chase McGarry outside. We'll see if he has that patience tonight.
Here's the 1-1 offering, just miss outside. So 2-1 on McGarry. He comes into the day hitting .324 with 10 RBIs. 8 walks, 8 strikeouts, even up there. Trying to work a long count. Was getting action just before first pitch over in the batting cages behind the stadium. Here's the 2-1 cut and a miss. And it's 2-2.
Yeah, every single one of these pitches have been towards the outside part of the plate for McGarry. He watched one go for a ball and then swings at a very similar next pitch. So early on against a pitcher you haven't seen much this year, you just want to relax and wait for the balls to come to you.
2-2. Here's the offering, fouled right back. McGarry's going to battle up there. He's the typical leadoff man, leads the ABL in stolen bases. So he can work his way on base a lot and then take advantage by taking an extra 90 feet, a whole bunch. Also 10 RBIs, so he drives in runners. Just a complete player so far to start the ABL. Rodriguez set. Here's the 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss. McGarry down on strikes, and that's the first out here in the top of the first.
Yeah, that's an at-bat he's going to wish he had back. Just swung at a few pitches low and outside and gets rung up with the strikeout. Good start for Rodriguez, who, as we mentioned, entered today with 11 Ks. He does a really good job of racking up these strikeouts, and the Bucs will try to avoid that tonight.
Just 7 innings over 2 starts, so length hasn't necessarily been his thing. Now Logan Ulep, he grounds ones to short. Dylan Marks over a couple feet, throws off balance, not in time. Logan Ewell beat out the throws, skipped over there to Hunter Klotz. He made the dig, but not in time. So Logan Ewell aboard with an infield single here in the top of the first.
Yeah, not a great throw over there at shortstop by Marks. He has 5 errors on the season. That's a hard one. You have to lean down your right shoulder, kind of get in an uncomfortable position, but you'd rather take another half a second and get strong on your feet for a strong throw before throwing versus that where he kind of just threw on the run and ends up not being out the runner.
Ewell takes his lead here as Reese Sherman looks at a fastball down the middle. So quickly 0-1 on Sherman. who's DHing today for the first time of the season. Luke Taylor back behind the dish for the Bucs for the second time of the year. Sherman also first time hitting in the 3-hole for Anchorage. Rodriguez set, checks on Yule. Here's the 0-1 offering, changeup missed outside. 1-1 on the DH today.
Well, if you'll remember, a couple of weeks ago, the Bucs were actually supposed to face Rodriguez, and then a rainout moved around the whole pitching matchups. So early on, you're going to want to see them kind of take on some pitches, see what his pitches are like, because they haven't seen him yet this year.
1-1, missed down low on the off-speed. 2-1 on Sherman. Comes in hitting .250, 7 RBIs. Has actually yet to walk this season, up ahead 2-1 in this count. Just underway here at Mulcahy Stadium. Runner on first in the top of the first. Counts 2-1 on Sherman. Rodriguez, long pause. Here's the 2-1, fouled right back underneath that fastball.
Yeah, that walk statistic really interesting. If you look at the statistics page for the Bucs, he's the only qualified hitter to not have a walk this season. And obviously he's swung a hot bat, but for someone who's been playing in a lot of games, you want to see him maybe lay off a couple pitches here and see if he can draw one for the first time.
2-2, missed high and wide. Nice stop by Burkhold. He actually had to leap to his feet and stop that from going back to the backstop. Newell stays put at first. So counts full on Sherman. Like I said, B.J. Rodriguez has only pitched 7 innings in 2 starts so far this year, but a 1.29 ERA. He's also hitting today, batting 6th. Logan Yule takes off. He's in a pickle. Throw back to first, now to second in time. And the Pilots with a nifty out. Logan Yule caught on the base paths.
Yeah, we've seen a couple pickles out of the Bucs this season. They're a team that really, really likes to run, and it makes sense. They have a few of the top speedsters in the league, but early on you want to be careful, especially with an out already on the board. You want to have as many opportunities to score them as possible. You don't like seeing that early on in games.
Count still full on Sherman. Here's the payoff pitch. Pours in for strike 3. The off-speed got him looking. Sherman walks back to the dugout. B.J. Rodriguez struts off the mound. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left on base after Logan Yule was thrown out at second. We'll go to the home half. Pilots coming to bat. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. We'll be right back. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium for the bottom of the first inning as R.J. Rouet takes the mound for the Bucs, making his 3rd start of the year, but his 4th appearance came out of the pen last Friday in relief of Jamie Robertson and went 3 innings, boasts a 1.13 ERA with 13 strikeouts over 8 innings pitched. In his 2 starts, well, he picked up the win both times. Actually, he picked up the win on Friday when he came in relief, and then one of those starts earlier in the season, he picked up the win. But a nifty left-hander on the mound for the Bucs.
Yeah, he's looked better every single appearance this year. Ironically enough, his best appearance has come out of the pen, not as a starter. Maybe where he's more comfortable after spending a couple of seasons as a relief pitcher at Baylor. However, trying to work into that starter role for this upcoming collegiate season. So he'll get another chance here tonight. And you'd love to see him work past maybe the 2nd, 3rd inning. You mentioned not a super high innings count, just 8 on the year. So if he could get 4 innings tonight, that would be huge for Rouet.
Trying to eat up innings for the Bucs as much as he can. Leading off for the Pilots is Dylan Marks, the shortstop. Rue kicks and deals, pitches high. 1-0 now on Marks. Comes in hitting 194, and that's a theme for the Pilots. 37 runs this season are last amongst all the teams in the ABL. So is that 203 average. Marks fouls one back, and it's 1-1. Offense has been hard to come by for the Pilots so far this season, but their 4.54 ERA is first. So good pitching, bad offense. Pitch down Broadway on the fastball, 1-2.
Well, and you mentioned it's because of the starters on this team. They've looked really, really good. A good four-man rotation for the Pilots. The Bucs still figuring out their starting rotation, but Rue seems to be a steadfast part of it.
1-2 is slowed, ground to third. Toki charges in, off balance throw, not in time. Toki made a nice play coming in on the ball down the third baseline, but Dylan Marks with good speed beat it out. So that's 2 infield singles so far just in the first inning. 1 for the Bucs, 1 for the Pilots. And the leadoff man is on for the Peas.
Yeah, the turf not playing too fast today. Good to see Toki be able to get that ball and field it cleanly. He's had some difficulties, a couple of errors already this season. So although he didn't get the out, it was a solid throw, a solid play altogether. So that's a good learning sign for the player.
Becker shows bunt, drags it to Rue, the pitcher. He comes off, throws in time to first. Marks advances to second on the play. So the bunt right back to Rue, but he got the job done by advancing the runner into scoring position. So now it's Hunter Klotz, the first baseman, coming to bat in the 3-hole.
Yeah, well, that shows you the early strategy for the Pilots. They want to get runners in as soon as possible because you're risking an extra hit by just getting that quick out. Good job by Rue to cover that. Also trying to test a lefty early.
First pitch to Klotz is popped high in the air. That'll stay in the infield. Now just in foul territory. Toki under it, and he makes the one-handed grab. So one pitch swinging and a big out for RJ Rue here in the Bucs. 2 outs in the bottom of the first.
You need to catch your breath there. I mean,
I
all
know.
these first pitch swings from the Pilots. It's interesting to see. When you usually have a guy reach early on, you want to wait for your pitch because they had a great opportunity. Runner at second with 1 away, and now a completely different story.
Now 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. First pitch is lined foul. Adam Bergholt, the catcher, batting in the cleanup spot today. Rue has 13 strikeouts on the season. Hasn't picked one up yet so far. 2 outs in, but he's capable of punching people out. The 0-1 pitch down low on the breaking ball. 1-1 now on Bergholt. It should be, 1-1. Fans still filing into their seats here at Mulcahy Stadium. Rue asks for a new ball, chucks over to the Pilots' dugout.
Ruiz looked really comfortable here through the first couple of batters. He'll have 1 hit to his name, but it was on soft contact. So if he can keep that going early on, doesn't matter if you're getting strikeouts or not, but if you can get soft contact, that's huge for the left-hander.
He comes set, takes a long pause, checks on the runner. 1-1 pitch is hit high in the air towards right field. Logan Yule runs into foul territory, and he bounces right in front of him. He can't make the play after a long run. Came over from close to the right center field gap and was feet away, but couldn't make the play. So 1-2 now on Bergholt. 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Everyone moves back to their respective positions. Underhill's keeping a close eye on the runner at second, Dylan Marks. Here's the 1-2 pitch inside on the fastball. 2-2 on Bergholt. Like I said, Pilots have really struggled this year. Their 9 stolen bases are last. The runs are last. Their leading hitter, Andrew Becker, hitting 286. Well, he's the only guy over 220. Here's the 2-2 offering. Off-speed bounced in there. So it's 3-2 now on Bergholt.
Well, it makes their 4-5 record all the more impressive.
Yeah, it's true.
Shows you defense really can win games in this league, and I think the Bucs are starting to realize that because when your bats get a little cold, your defense has to be really good, and that didn't happen the last 2 games. That's how they lost the games.
Payoff pitch is lined to left field, drops in for a base hit, and gets past Cooper Soselski all the way to the wall. Dylan Marks comes around third, easily scores, and that's a double for Adam Bergholt in the first run of the game. 1-0 Pilots here in the first.
Yeah, that ball kind of just left up there, and Bergholt does just what you're supposed to do. Sends it to the gap out there in left center field. Rue going to be shaking his head after that one. Was on the edge of getting out of that inning unscathed, but a really, really good piece of hitting from Bergholt, and the Pilots are rolling here early on.
Well, I think I jinxed them. I said they couldn't score. 1 run home here in the first inning.
Had to prove you wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Off-speed pours in for a strike. But you said good defense. Well, they have 15 errors. That's second most in the ABL. Only to the Bucs, who have a whopping 21 through 10 games. Counts 0-1 on Landon Teasing. Here's the pitch. That's lined to left field. Drops in front of Soselski. The runner on second gets the wave. It's Bergholt. The throw from Soselski not nearly in time. Cut off by Toki. That's an RBI single for Landon Teasing. And just like that, 2-0 Pilots here in the first.
Well, how about the speed of Bergholt, the catcher there? He was racing around third base. Did not even think about holding up. Good send there from Rich Price, the head coach, over at third base. Cooper Soselski saved the base for sure because he made a great jumping stop. The ball almost went right over his head off a bounce to keep that from being an extra base hit. But back-to-back big hits here from the Pilots. And once again, an early deficit for this Bucs team.
Well, dating back to last night's 9th inning, pickoff attempt is successful. Throw to Nate Muncy. Now he's in a rundown. Oh, no, it's a balk.
Oh.
Rue, the pickoff attempt was called a balk by the second base ump, or make that the third base ump, Kyle Stutz. Joe Silva coming out of the dugout. He's going to have a conversation with Stutz. Right at the third base line, Joe Silva is talking to him, hands up in the air. Rue thought he had the runner picked off. Landon Teasing.
I was wondering why Teasing was just jogging. I thought he maybe had given up or something, but
Yeah, I was confused.
That's a very tough break.
Now the call's going to stand. Joe Silva walks back to the plate. Now he's going to chat with the catcher, Luke Taylor. He's going to get his armor back knotted up. So the bottom of the first not going so smoothly for the Bucs here.
Well, you wonder, Rue, a left-handed pitcher, and the Bucs have been very keen on their lefties throwing to first, but when your fourth batter faced ends up advancing on a balk, you might be a little less hesitant to throw over. So this gives a big opportunity for the Pilots moving forward to take bigger leads on the base paths and really test Rue once again, try to get him to throw over, even if he's maybe a little hesitant to do so.
Well, Teasing takes his lead off second. After the balk, Rue, long pause, B.J. Rodriguez, the pitcher, up to hit. First pitch, he swings, lifted high in the air, foul territory, left side. Toki gives it a look, jumps at the fence, but can't make the play. Just into those seats in front of the Bucs clubhouse over there down the third base line. So 0-1 on Rodriguez. Impressive stuff to be the pitcher, be as successful as he is, and then come to hit. Now, the hitting hasn't necessarily come around just yet, hitting 107 this season. Left on left matchup. Rue set at the belt, takes a look at the runner. Pitch swung on, hit on the ground sharply towards short. Haas spins, throws in time. Nice play for Grant Haas, and that retires the side here in the bottom of the first. But the Pilots get 2 runs on the board. We'll go to the top of the second. Bucs coming to bat. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. We'll be right back. Back at Mulcahy Stadium, here Bucs and Pilots doing battle. Glacier Pilots up 2-0 after 2 runs came around to score in the bottom of the first. We head to the top of the second. BJ Rodriguez still on the mound for the Pilots. Worked a clean top of the first inning with 2 strikeouts. Also picked off Logan Yule, who attempted to steal from first to second and was unsuccessful.
Yeah, not much battle at all from the Bucs offense in that first inning. A couple of strikeouts, not what you want early on, especially one looking from Sherman. So now you have your heart of your lineup, Underhill and Taylor, probably the best 2 power hitters on this team back-to-back. So definitely an opportunity to change the momentum here quickly, because that's what the Bucs need.
Yeah, Underhill, one of the most dangerous hitters in the lineup, hit a 2-run shot yesterday, also singled. Rodriguez comes set. Here's the pitch, taken for a strike down the middle on the fastball.
And that was the thing the last couple days. The Bucs just, once they gave up runs, they kind of gave up. Like, the momentum wasn't there at all. You got to switch it quickly, because the Pilots, they don't score a lot. They score a couple. They have all the fun right now, all the power.
0-1 pitch, taken down low. The Bucs haven't been in that situation. They just haven't been down late in games. Yesterday was really the first time, and I'll tell you, the pitching didn't do any favors, giving up 5 runs in that 9th inning. So, Bucs lost 11-2 last night, already down 2-0 here against the Pilots. Rodriguez set, 1-1, missed outside on the breaking ball. A 2-1 now on Underhill, hitting .361 with 9 RBIs. More walks than he struck out. So really good start to the season at the plate for Underhill. Here's the 2-1, lifts it high in the air, shallow center field. Becker's there along with a triangle of players. Now the center fielder calls everyone off and makes the play. So a high pop-up that hit the moon. The clouds, the sky up here at Mulcahy. And there's 1 out in the top of the second.
Yeah, that was more of a square of players. The right fielder Fagan got in on the fun as well. But, I mean, that's a sign of a good ball club, because a couple weeks ago you might see that ball drop with the communication and players only then getting to know each other. But 2 weeks into the regular season, you're not going to see those communication issues, and it shows that the Pilots, despite this record, are really growing as a team.
15 errors on the season. That's second most. Taylor check swings. He went around, says the first base ump, Kenny Atkins. 3-man umpire crew here at Mulcahy Stadium. It's been off and on, 2-man, 3-man throughout the entire season. Yesterday it was 2, today 3. Battle of Anchorage here, part 3 of the ABL 2025 season. 0-1 pitch to Taylor, chops it high in the air towards third base. Teasing's there, a couple steps, throws in time to first. And there's 2 outs here in the top of the second.
Yeah, the defense for the Pilots just hasn't really had to do much work here. You had the one infield single by Logan Yule back in the first, but other than that, this has been very routine plays for Anchorage, the Glacier Pilots, early on. And you want to be able to test the defense a little more, especially through this really, really important part of the lineup.
Slumps happen, but you got to break out of it at some point. Now Cooper Soselski up at the dish. He swings, lines one down the right field line, just foul. A tick late there for Soselski. Nice contact, though, but 0-1 on the left fielder, making his second start in a row. Went 1 for 4 last night against the Chinooks. His single was a little slow hit ground ball through the right side of the infield, but you'll take it nevertheless. Limited action for Soselski early on in the season. Here's the 0-1, fouled right back, 0-2.
Yeah, we saw Soselski go opposite a lot in batting practice today. That first one just slicing foul, but I mean, very, very important to have players who can go opposite, even though this team does have a lot of left-handers. If he can go another one that way, that would be huge here for the Bucs.
0-2, 2 outs on the left fielder. Here's the kick and the deal, missed high and wide. A 1-2. The Bucs were doing something interesting during batting practice, the cross BP. So you had one person throwing straight on, and then if you were a lefty, you had someone throwing down the third base line, and for a righty, down the first base line. Counts 1-2 on Soselski. Here's the offering, swung on, lifted high in the air towards right field. Playable for Scotty Fagan in front of the track, and he makes the grab. Now quickly go the Bucs here in the top of the second. Second straight 1-2-3 inning for Anchorage. We'll go to the bottom half of the second. It's still 2-0, Pilots on top. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. The Pilots on top 2-0 over the Bucs. The Bucs trying to avoid their third straight loss. Still in first place in the ABL with a record of 7-3. But the Miners within a game of them. So standings drawing closer as the season grows on. Luke Medhurst will lead off the inning for the Pilots. Rouet deals a pitch high and in. 1-0 on Medhurst, the left fielder.
Yeah, we'll be scoreboard watching the other game in the ABL tonight. The Miners, with a win, could potentially get to a tie for first.
Swing and a miss on a breaking ball from Rouet. So 1-1. That was nasty. But Rouet, last time we saw him was Friday in relief, and he used that breaking ball a whole bunch.
And it
Fooled
worked
the
really
hitter.
well.
Yeah.
Like I'm
It's like a
surprised he hasn't
12-6.
gone to it more here early.
1-1 offering, went back to it, grounded up the middle. Hoff goes over a couple steps, throws in time to first. A nice play for Grant Haas, the shortstop, and there's one out here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, Grant House always looks a little bit frantic when he's getting these. He has a very interesting charging motion, but it's worked for almost the entire season. He's had a little iffy week so far, 3 errors through the first 2 games, but he's been perfect other than that this year.
Fagan, the batter for the Pilots. That pitch hit in the dirt. A 1-0 now on Fagan, the right fielder. Pilots with a 4-5 record. They played the Gold Panthers over in Fairbanks for the Midnight Sun game. Lost 2 of 3. They played a full series, but actually won the Midnight Sun game. Pitch is fouled back out of play, so 1-1 now.
Yeah, they won the one that matters.
Exactly. I didn't actually know it was a full series. And so, yeah, went to Fairbanks. It was a 7-hour drive, so you might as well get the most out of it. Played 3. Rouet set counts 1-1. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball, 1-2.
I was shocked. I opened up TikTok this weekend and some DraftKings account popped up.
Yeah.
And it was talking about this game.
Why not?
Yeah.
Big Midnight Sun game. 1-2, high and tight. 2-2 now on Scotty Fagan.
I was kind of disappointed that the game started at 10 p.m. I thought it started at midnight. It just goes across midnight.
Well, listen, 10 p.m. midnight, you don't want the game ending at 3 a.m.
That's true.
2-2, off speed, just missed outside. Close one.
That's tough, yeah.
It's a close pitch from Rouet. He steps off the mound, now back on the rubber. Counts full on Fagan. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Here's the windup. Pitch. Just missed outside. 2 close misses. Home plate umpire Ethan McCaney said no can do to RJ Rouet. So there's 1 on with 1 out here for the Pilots.
Yeah, I like that from Luke Taylor, calling back-to-back breaking balls, and both of them were very good pitches from Rouet. We've mentioned it's worked really good here early on, but sometimes you just don't get the strike zone you want. That's what happened there.
Fagan off first. Weston Maisie, the hitter now. Long pause for Rouet. He deals. Pitch gets away from Taylor down the first baseline. Taking second easily is Fagan. So now a runner in scoring position for the Pilots here with 1 out. Pitch was down low. Almost a nice block by Taylor. This is second game back behind the dish. So still trying to get his groove back. Was the catcher back on Friday. 1-0 the count on Weston Maisie. Here's the offering. Strike called on the breaking ball that just lofted into the zone beautifully.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to see Rouet's not afraid to go with that. He got the good ground out off the breaking ball from Medhurst, and then a couple of balls off of it with the last batter, but he's not been turned away from it. Good to see.
1-1 pitch. Bounced up there. Taking third, Scotty Fagan. Throw not in time. Another wild pitch from RJ Rouet. Runner on third now with less than 2 outs for the Pilots. Infield stays back for the Bucs in the meantime. Now they're talking to each other. So Nate Muncy, the first baseman, goes up to the lip of the grass. Middle, half and half, Underhill and Haas. Rouet set, counts 2-1. Here's the pitch, shows bunt, popped high in the air. Luke Taylor drifts over, makes the play in foul territory. Throw back to first, in time on the force. Scotty Fagan caught lacking. And that'll do it here in the bottom of the second inning. Nice heads-up play from Luke Taylor. And we go to the third. Nice defense from the Bucs. That's good to see. We go to the third inning. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the broadcast, everyone. Milo Hoffman here with Alex Burstein as we head to the top of the third inning. Pilots on top 2-0, but really nice defensive play from Luke Taylor to strand the runner over there at third. Got him on the force play, heads up from the catcher in his second game catching for the Bucs this summer. Rodriguez on the hill for the Pilots still, and Nate Muncy, the hitter, first baseman for the Bucs. First pitch to him inside on the off speed. 1-0 on Muncy. Muncy pinch hit last night, flew out to center fields in the 8th inning. Here's the 1-0 offering. Looks at a fastball down the middle. 1-1.
Yeah, we've seen two very different plate approaches from Muncy this season. A couple of times he swung at first pitches and flown out on balls he wished he could have back. Here we're seeing him laying off a bunch of pitches, so we'll see what he has today.
1-1. Muncy looks at a pitch high. Breaking ball missed. 2-1. That was close. Rodriguez wipes off the ball.
McCraney has not been friendly to the breaking ball today.
At all. Muncy back in the box. Rodriguez on the rubber. Counts 2-1 on the first baseman. Muncy swings and fouls one off left side. 2-2 now on Nate Muncy from Kent State. Also a pitcher. Works in relief with the Bucs this season. Lefty in the box, lefty on the mound. Lefty all around. Counts even at 2 apiece on Muncy. No outs here in the top of the third. Here's the offering. Check swing. He went around. That's a strikeout for Rodriguez. A 1 out here in the top of the third on a not up swing from Muncy. Now coming to the plate is Jaden Toki, the third baseman.
Yeah, the interesting thing, the Bucs always sport a lot of lefties in the lineup. Going quickly, I believe 3 today. We've seen as many as 4 or 5. But back-to-back nights facing off against lefties, that advantage is kind of taken away completely. So, honestly, not what the Bucs want to see.
Toki up, looks at a fastball down the gut. 0-1 on the third baseman. And Toki made a nice play in the first. Couldn't make the throw in time, but charged down the third baseline and made it look nice. Just not in time with the throw. Playing third once again today. Counts 0-1. He swings and lifts one high in the air. Shallow center field. Becker and Medhurst there. Becker calls it off and makes the one-handed grab. Another moon sky out for the Bucs. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Now it's Grant Haas, the shortstop, up.
Yeah, we just keep seeing the Bucs get under this ball, and if you have your bats a little bit higher, these could be going a long way. But a lot of pop-ups early on. We've seen 3 of them in the last 2 innings alone, and you just want to square up these pitches, but Rodriguez doing a really good job here on the mound.
Now Rodriguez trying to face the minimum. Grant Haas looks at a fastball high. Minimum through 3 innings, that is. Logan Ewell was thrown out on the base paths after reaching on an infield single back in the top of the first. 3 strikeouts on the day for Rodriguez so far. Trying to work 3 clean innings for the Pilots. Pitching hasn't been the issue for them. They have the best ERA in the ABL at 4.5. Here's the 1-0 swing and a miss from Haas. And it's 1-1 on the shortstop.
Well, you mentioned with Rodriguez, he hasn't had super long outings so far this year, but that was just his 31st pitch thrown of the night, so he's keeping at a very low pace. That bodes well for a long outing, which is exactly what the Pilots need.
Only 7 innings pitched so far this season. 1-1 fouled right back. Haas wants that one back. Sort of grinned after that swing. Takes a couple steps out of the batter's box. Now settles back in. His bat has started to come around. Is Grant Haas hitting .265 this season with 8 RBIs. Only 2 strikeouts, too, for the shortstop. 1-2, 2 outs here in the top of the third. Pilots up 2-0. Battle of Anchorage here, part 3 of the season. Pitch taken for called, strike 3 on the fastball. Just up the outside corner. Rodriguez walks off the mound as he's faced the minimum through 3. We go to the home half. Pilots coming to bat. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. We'll be right back. Back at Mulcahy Stadium, Milo Hoffman, Alex Burstein with you. As we go to the bottom of the third, Bucs still scoreless in this one. Pilots have 2 runs, 2 in the bottom of the first. We'll look to tack on some more here as it's back to the top of the lineup for the Glacier Pilots and Dylan Marks, who started off the game with a single, a hard-hit one, and came around to score.
Yeah, it was these first 5 batters that did the damage for the Pilots in the first inning. Rue knows them a little more now, going into the lineup a second time. We'll see how he works around them.
He goes to the off-speed on the first pitch, and it missed high and wide. So 1-0 now on Dylan Marks. Came into the day hitting 194, did the shortstop. Counts 1-0 on him. He shows bunt and fouls it back. Just 1 hit on the day for the Bucs. That was an infield single. Logan Ewell was eventually thrown out on the base paths after he was caught in a pickle. 3 hits for the Pilots. No one has struck an out for Glacier yet as well. Pitch is inside, 1-1 now.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that routinely was getting double-digit hits. Now they've gone 4 straight games without reaching that mark. Try to change that tonight.
2-1, fouled right back on the Heat. 2-2 now on Marks.
I mean, I don't know if 10 is the expectation, but 10 usually will mean you're getting, 6 or 7 runs, which in most games is going to win you here on the Alaska Baseball League. 1 or 2, that's not going to.
2-2, off-speed missed outside. And the Bucs looked like the best offensive team in the league, and they still
They
are.
still are.
But,
I mean, those numbers are kind of skewed.
Exactly.
Yeah, if we had the little chart here, it would be very high and then like a roller coaster tipping
Exactly.
down.
Well, that's the baseball season. Payoff pitch is chopped slowly over to short. Rue can't make the play. Toki comes in, bounces it to first, but Muncie makes the scoop for the out. Nice scoop by Nate Muncie. Way to come in on the ball for Jaden Toki. 1 gone here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, a lot of really good efforts on that. Rue tried to make a heroic stop. However, it's probably good he didn't get that because that would be really hard to fall down and then also make the throw in time. Jaden Toki, who we mentioned a couple errors earlier this week, has looked solid early on, and then obviously Nate Muncie, a good play.
Becker swings at the first pitch, loops it to left field. Coming on is Sosowski, dives, can't make the play. It bounces behind him. Grant Haas backs him up. Going to second is Andrew Becker with a double. A runner on second now for the Pilots on a looping hit down the left field line.
Yeah, that's one of those balls that's very 50-50. You either dive and get an amazing catch, or you miss it and it gives them an extra base. Sosowski, I mean, he was very close to it. You can't blame him for that decision, but that's just a tough break. Good job by Grant Hosto to get there quickly and keep that from being an even triple or home run.
Well, Sosowski dove, laid out, and then you expect him to do that. He's a great defender out there in the outfield, just inches short of that one. Now it's Hunter Klotz, the first baseman, up with a runner on second. Rue takes a look at Andrew Becker, now comes home for a strike on the breaking ball.
And if you're Rue, you have to be kind of disappointed. You gave up the infield hit in the first inning. That one, it was in on the hands. That's a ball that usually is just popped straight up and you get an easy fly out. These are just some lucky hits from the Pilots early on, but it's a game of luck, and they're definitely winning the battle right now.
It seems like everything goes wrong
Yeah.
when you're not going well and not scoring runs.
Mm-hmm.
The earth is falling down on you, Rue, trying to work out of this jam with a runner in scoring position. Counts 0-1 on Klotz. Swing and a miss on the high cheese. 0-2 now.
Yeah, strikeout here would be huge. Rue yet to have any of them today. We mentioned came in with 13 strikeouts across 8 innings. That's almost 2 an inning. And now we're entering the third inning, still none. I'd like to see him get one, kind of work up his confidence.
Here's the 0-2 breaking ball called, strike 3. Here's your punch out, Alex. And there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, you see the dugout gets a little louder, the infield gets a little louder. Everyone's more excited after one of those, and that's just energy that Rue needs, especially on a day like this, not super packed at the ballpark, even though it's good weather. You just need to have all the energy as possible into your starting guy. We'll see if Rue can kind of take that into another batter now.
Well, the next batter is Adam Burkhalter, who doubled in the first. He looks at a breaking ball outside. Rue trying to work out of this one, and he's looked good on the mound so far this season. Was slotted over at first yesterday. struggled at the plate. Different story on the mound. Set at the belt. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Hit hard on the ground. Left side through for a base hit. Siselski, the left fielder, comes up with it. Throws home. It is in time. That's a dart from Cooper Siselski. He guns out Andrew Becker at home. And the Pilots come away with no runs in the bottom of the third. What a throw from Cooper Siselski. We'll head to the top of the fourth. Bucs still trail 2-0 here at Mulcahy Stadium. We'll be right back. It's Anchorage Bucs baseball. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium, everyone. We go to the top of the fourth inning. Bucs trail 2-0. Well, the defense has been an issue for them all year long. The defense has come to play here. Luke Taylor had that gun out to third on the force to cut down that runner, and then Cooper Siselski showing off the arm in left field to cut down Andrew Becker at home plate back in the third inning. Kai McGarry leads us off, pitches outside. 1-0 on the leadoff man.
Well, it's kind of a big difference because when we've been talking about the bad defense, it's been routine plays that they haven't been making. Today, it's unroutine plays that you don't expect them to make, and they are. You had that double play turn by Taylor and obviously that throw by Siselski. That can mean a lot to a team.
McGarry shows bunt, pops it up behind home plate. It bounces in front of us. That could be playable for us, Alex. It might have just sat right in front of the other broadcast booth. We'll have to see.
We'll check it out in a couple minutes.
I'll go check it out.
You will?
Go on play-by-play if you want.
Okay.
Or you can go.
Yeah.
I just want all the baseballs I can get.
Well, we're not going to step in front of the camera mid-game. It doesn't mean that much.
That's true.
I'll check if it's there.
Here's the 1-1. Swung on. Hit left side. Through for a base hit. Kai McGarry with a slow-rolling seeing eye singled into left field. He's aboard. And the Bucs have something going here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, first single since all the way back in the first inning when Logan Ewell got aboard, and that's the first base hit that's gotten out of the infield here today for the Bucs. Just a simple grounder, but when you can find the gaps on the left side, that's big. A really nice piece of hitting there from McGarry.
2-0 Pilots on top. Bucs have a runner on first. It's McGarry. Ewell looks at a strike called on the outside corner.
So how many pitches till he takes? What's your guess?
Till Logan Ewell takes?
No, till
Kai
Kai
McGarry takes
for
off.
second. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll give it one more. I think
Okay.
one more pitch and he goes.
Okay.
Counts 0-1. Rodriguez set. Check back to first. Well, BJ Rodriguez heard us. Well, actually, he didn't hear us because if he heard us, and we were right, he would wait.
Yeah.
So, well, our window's half open. He can't necessarily hear us too well.
I'll say he goes here just to go against you.
Counts 0-1 on Ewell. He looks at a ball outside. 1-1 on Logan Ewell. 2 hits on the day for the Bucs. One of them via Logan Ewell, an infield single back in the first. Came in hitting .286 with 3 RBIs. Been off to a great start over in right field. Second straight day he's hitting 2 behind Kai McGarry. Little change in the lineup for the Bucs. McGarry takes his lead. Rodriguez set, comes home on the fastball high and wide. A 2-0 now. It's only a matter of time before McGarry takes off, leads the Alaska Baseball League in stolen bags this season. 2-0 Pilots here, nobody out in the top of the 4th. Bucs trying to work some offense. Rodriguez set. Here's the offering. Yule lines one into left center field. It drops in for a base hit. McGarry round second. He'll dig for throw. The throw from Becker is not in time. Yule into second, sliding, safe. That's a double for Logan Yule. Second and third for the Bucs with nobody out.
Yeah, that's a very, very good piece of hitting from Logan Yule. We talked about all the lefties in this lineup, but he decides to just go opposite. For a second, looked like he was going to break through the gap and maybe roll all the way to the warning track, but a very, very nice hit from Logan Yule, and risky base running, but it pays off.
Yeah. Big situation now for the Bucs, threatening to score for the first time in 11 innings. Reese Sherman at the plate, Rodriguez at the belt, and field in. Here's the pitch, taken down low. You feel like this is where the Bucs have to break through. It's only a matter of time. Now, 11 straight innings, they haven't scored. If you told me that 3 days ago, I wouldn't have believed you. The Bucs offense was automatic. Reese Sherman at the plate now, hitting .250 this season. Struck out back in the first. Yule off second, McGarry off third. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball misses inside. 2-0 now on Sherman.
Yeah, and a good mound visit here from the catcher Bergholt. We talked about how important it is to just get Rodriguez out of this game if you're the Bucs because of how impressive he's been this season. And all it takes is one big inning to really skyrocket that pitch count. No outs already for Anchorage with 2 on. So this is a big chance to stroll together some base hits and just really get things working.
Reese Sherman struck out back in the first. He was caught looking. Didn't even swing the bat. He's yet to swing the bat in this plate appearance as well. Yeah. Up in the count 2-0. Well, listen, if they're giving you balls, you're not going to swing.
Yeah, just wait for your pitch.
Now the middle of the infield backs up. Marks at short, Maisie at second. They're playing depth, trying to get the out. Corners are in, teasing over at third. Klotz at first. Other than that, outfield played straight up. Counts 2-0 on Sherman. Here's the offering, high and wide. So 3-0 on Reese Sherman now, the DH today for the first time of the season. Rodriguez came into the day with just 2 walks. Has yet to walk a Buck batter today. Counts 3-0 on Reese Sherman. He waves his black bat. Rodriguez set. Here's the offering, taken down Broadway, 3-1.
Well, this is a huge next pitch because Rodriguez probably going to give something hittable, but Sherman has, we mentioned, already struck out looking today, has not swung the bat already. So this is a big test for Sherman, what he wants to do, try for the walk, or potentially get a couple RBIs on a hit.
Epitome of a hitter's count here, 3-1 on the DH. The kick and the deal, swing and a miss. Sherman chased the high cheese, so it's full now.
Yeah, I think that would have gone for a ball. It was up at the letters of Sherman on his jersey, but sometimes you really see that pitch. That's when you think that you can drive out, but it's really hard to connect with. Now a big full count.
Right at eye level. It's hard to lay off. Sun comes shining down here at Mulcahy Stadium. Full count to Sherman. Here's the pitch. Taken for cold. Strike 3 on the inside corner. Sherman down looking for the second time this evening. A big strikeout for B.J. Rodriguez, and there's 1 gone in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, that's already 5 strikeouts today for Rodriguez. You talked about it. He doesn't walk a lot of guys. He just knows how to battle in these counts. Even going down 3-0, he gets back with the strikeout. These have not been long at-bats. He just knows how to fire into the zone. That works well. But now with Underhill and Taylor, huge opportunity for the Bucs.
Yeah, Underhill walks in. Dangerous hitter. 1 out here in the 4th. Looks at a ball down low in the dirt. 1-0 on Underhill. Flew out to center field back in the 2nd inning. Now, I say that because Underhill hasn't hit in the 2nd inning for his first plate appearance in what feels like forever.
Yeah.
He's either hitting in that 2 hole or the cleanup spot, but the Bucs always seem to hit at least to the 6th guy in the first. Not the case today. 1-0 almost hit him. Underhill got out of the way. It was almost inches away from his kneecap. A way to get out of the way for Underhill. Not trying to wear one here. Up in the count, 2-0. Against Sherman, one batter ago. It was 2-0 as well. Rodriguez worked all the way back to punch him out on a full count. Yule takes his lead off second. McGarry down the line at third. Rodriguez comes set out of the stretch. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Sherman fishing on the curveball.
Yeah, a lot of break on that curveball from Rodriguez. He sees that pitch has worked. He probably expects to try to get Underhill to chase on a fastball here and then maybe return to the curve. That's what he's done a lot tonight. But Rodriguez, despite behind in the count, has control after that pitch.
Yeah, 2-1 the count. Rodriguez set. Here's the offering. Swung on, chopped to first. Klotz comes up, throws to home. In time, they cut down McGarry. Nice play by Hunter Klotz, the first baseman. And now the Bucs have runners on the corners, but with 2 outs.
Yeah, really good heads-up play there by Klotz at first base. He's come into this first base role just a couple of games ago, but that's that heads-up awareness to throw home. It's hard to get Kai McGarry at home plate we've seen this year, but they just beat him out. A nice tag by Bergholt there, and a missed opportunity for the Bucs.
Fielder's choice. McGarry cut down at home. Underhill over at first. Yule at third. Now Luke Taylor. Pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. Just good defensive alignment for the Pilots. The corners were in, and that's exactly where Underhill hit it. Klotz had to jump up a little bit and made an accurate throw to Bergholt, the catcher, who applied the tag on Kai McGarry, who tried the swim move but was unsuccessful. Counts 0-1 on Taylor. Here's the pitch. Wide on the fastball, so 1-1.
Well, it helps when you have a 6'3" first baseman who can jump and make that play, because if he's our height or if he's just a few inches short, you're not. Are you making that grab?
No,
exactly.
Not making the grab.
So if you're a little bit shorter, you're not making that. So a good play by Klotz.
1-1 on Luke Taylor. Runners on the corners for the Bucs. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball missed outside. Tried the back door. He couldn't get it around. 2-1 on Luke Taylor. A bit of a scuffle now for Taylor. He grounded out back in the second inning. It was 0 for 4 yesterday. The catcher today for the second time of the season. Counts 2-1, 2 outs. Rodriguez set. Here's the pitch. That hit Luke Taylor. Hit him on the elbow. That's his 7th hit by pitch of the season, which by far leads the ABL. The bases are loaded now for the Bucs. Cooper Soselski, the hitter. And we talked to Luke Taylor after the game back on Friday. He says he gets hit a lot because he just doesn't move. That's what they teach you. He does it to perfection.
So it's very much a catcher's mindset.
Yeah.
You know, you're having fastballs thrown at you all game. You know, I'll just wait. I'll lay off some, and I mean it works. But also for the Pilots now, you get Soselski, who's struggled more at the plate this inning, so could end up going to their favor. We'll see how they play this.
Soselski digs in. Taylor off first, Underhill off second, Yule over at third. Rodriguez set at the belt. First pitch to Cooper's fouled back, just under it.
The Bucs have yet to record a hit with 2 outs today. 0 for 3. You obviously had that hit by pitch to Taylor, but it's been a problem all season long. Clutch hitting. They end up with a ton of runners left on the base paths. Last night it was 8. So you want to see them figure something out with 2 outs as the season goes on.
0-1 as the wind blows here at Mulcahy. Pitch, breaking ball outside. And it's going to right field today and coming in more. So different than what we've seen in the past. A big moment for the Bucs here, trying to spark a 2-out rally. McGarry was cut down at the plate after Underhill chopped out to first. He's over at second now. It's Taylor off first and Yule at third. Bases juice for the Bucs. Soselski at the plate. Counts 1-1. Here's the offering left high. 2-1 now on Soselski. He's up in the count. Bucs trying to come off the schneid here. Avoid another scoreless inning. 4 hits on the day for Anchorage. the team with a black top and gray pants, looking like the Pittsburgh Pirates. Rodriguez set at the belt, long pause, bases juiced. Here's the 2-1, swung on, hit high in the air, foul down the first baseline.
Yeah, well, if I'm Soselski after watching the pitch go way high, I'm probably laying off that one, especially as we've seen Rodriguez a little less control in this inning number 4 of work, but he's battling. This is a huge 2-2 pitch, and Rodriguez with a chance to do some really good pitching here if he can get out of this jam.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases juiced. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Rodriguez works out of the jam. Fastball right on by Cooper Soselski, and we'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Rodriguez feeling it today for the Pilots. We'll be right back. It's Anchorage Bucs baseball. Don't go anywhere. Back in Mulcahy Stadium for the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 2-0 Pilots on top here over the Bucs. Landon Teasing will lead off for the Pilots. Rouet still on the bump for the Bucs. He's looked solid after giving up 2 runs in the first 2 straight scoreless innings. He kicks and deals, a breaking ball pours in for a strike.
Yeah, we mentioned the Bucs would love to get a longer starting outing out of Rouet, and if he gets a couple of outs, this will be the longest. So good to see out of the left-hander.
Offers down low, so 1-1 now on Teasing. He singled back in the first. Came into the day hitting 200. Teasing playing third base today. Sunshine over at Mulcahy Stadium. 1-1 outside. We thought it was going to be cloudy this week. Sun just keeps on finding its way to appear here in Anchorage. Wind is blowing heavily, though, out to right field as the cotton is flying here at Mulcahy. 2-1 offering finds the outside portion of the zone. A 2-2. Nice fastball from Rouet.
And it's interesting, no bullpen work at all, so you might even see 5 innings out of Rouet. I know last time they wanted 4 out of him.
Kicks and deals the 2-2, just got a piece. Did Teasing. So 2-2 still on the third baseman. Glad you're joining us from wherever you might be. You're on the Anchorage Bucs YouTube channel. 2-0 Pilots on top. 2-2 count on Teasing. Rouet stands tall on the hill. Left on right matchup. Here's the kick and the deal. Swung on, fouled right back. You can hear the wind. It's picking up. Nice crowd on hand here at Mulcahy Stadium. Of course, you get more fans when the Bucs are playing the Pilots because both fan bases can come out and support their respective sides. Here's the 2-2 from Rouet. Breaking ball just narrowly missed. 3-2.
Yeah, we haven't seen quite the same amount of movement out of Rouet's breaking ball since he got robbed of a strikeout a couple of innings ago. That's a pitch that you want to see consistent throughout the outing.
Payoff delivery, missed low and outside. Rouet couldn't command the fastball there. Teasing shovels his gear towards the dugout, and he'll walk 90 feet up to first base. Runner on first now for the Pilots with nobody out here in the fourth.
It's the first time since the first inning that the Pilots have gotten the leadoff man aboard. The Bucs have done it one time as well, but as you know, in baseball, that's just so huge. They were able to turn that into a run back in the first, and obviously hope you can do that as well here. Wouldn't be surprised to see Teasing take off for second.
Teasing takes his lead, check back to first.
That was close.
Muncy didn't play the tag.
Yeah, I think he didn't realize how close it was going to be.
Muncy back over there at first. Teasing takes his lead about 5 feet from the bag. Rouet stands tall, now out of the stretch, set at the belt. Here's the pitch inside to Rodriguez, who's the pitcher today. He's looked electric on the mound. At the plate, he grounded out to first. Hitting under 100 on the season, but if you're going to deal on the mound, people forget about it. Left on left matchup. Here's the 1-0. He shows bunt, and he fouls it back. It's a called strike.
Teasing doesn't realize it was fouled.
Yeah, he dashed over to second base.
He's still there.
He's
He
going
still
to stay
doesn't know.
there.
Oh, did they?
What are they calling this?
Oh, I thought he pointed towards first.
So they're saying he didn't foul it off.
Huh.
Interesting. So, wild pitch for Rouet, and just
Yeah.
like that, a runner on second now for the Pilots, nobody out.
Everyone was so calm.
Yeah.
I think even Taylor thought it was. That could have been even worse. Teasing could have taken third, possibly.
Rouet was gesturing that it fouled off, but he couldn't get his appeal heard. 1-1 misses inside on the breaking ball.
It's interesting to see with Rodriguez. Early in the season, we saw a lot of pitchers doing this pitcher DH thing, even on the Bucs. But as more players came in and the full rosters cleaned up, that isn't the case. Rodriguez, though, a rare case, still doing the two-way in the same game thing. Because Rouet, I mean, he does play, he does hit, but just not in the same game.
Here's the 2-1 swing and a foul ball right back. And if you do it in the same game, that's what makes it really impressive.
Well, it shows you how important they think his bat is, because even when he comes out of the game, whether it's next inning or in 2 innings, he'll stay in as the hitter. So, I mean, they very much value his bat. We mentioned he's struggled so far this season, but he definitely has some pop. You'll remember back in the first game, his first 2 hits of the season looked like they were going to be home runs.
Rodriguez out of Fresno State, California. Long pause for RJ Rouet. He looks in for the sign, still doesn't have it.
Wow.
Shakes off a couple times now. It's a stare-off between Taylor and Rouet. Rodriguez stands tall in the bat. Nobody has called time. This is unbelievable.
Oh,
and now,
wow.
finally, Rouet comes set. I feel like I was calling a horse race. Here's the 2-2 breaking ball missed down low.
That would be the boringest horse race ever. No one was moving.
It's true.
I would say it's their first time working together, but Rouet was the second pitcher that threw to Taylor back in that game on Friday. They've worked together a couple times. You can't imagine how many pitches they ran through there. He only has 5 in his agenda, so.
His whole arsenal.
Yeah.
Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, lifted high in the air towards right field. Ewell back at the wall, looks up, and that ball's out of here. A 2-run shot for B.J. Rodriguez, and just like that, it's 4-0. Pilots on top.
Well, we mentioned a couple of times this season, Rodriguez has sent balls a long way here at Mulcahy. That one, though, just unleashed. His first home run of the season. This is a Pilots team that just had 2 home runs as a team entering today. And wow, I mean, he has a monster shot.
After that long pause, and we were talking about Rodriguez's sneaky pop. We said he flew out to the wall a couple times to that exact area over and right. Joe Silva out of the dugout. He gestures towards the bullpen. It looks like Grady Ferris is going to come on for the Bucs. That'll be it for RJ Rouet. Can't record an out here in the 4th inning. Rouet talks into his glove as he comes off the mound. We'll take a quick break here at Mulcahy Stadium. Pilots on top, 4-0. We'll be right back, everyone. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth here at Mulcahy Stadium. Milo Hoffman with Alex Burstein. Well, BJ Rodriguez helping out his own cause. Hit a 2-run jack. Still nobody out here in the 4th inning. New pitcher on the hill for the Bucs. It's Grady Ferris making his 3rd appearance of the season. 5.1 innings pitched with a 1.69 ERA and 4 strikeouts. Product out of Cal Fullerton. First pitch is inside. So it's 1-0 now.
Yeah, Rue just had a very up and down day. Ends up with 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. I see you panicking at your scorebook. He's wearing a different number today.
Okay, good.
Medhurst wearing number 43 in
I
the
was
white
freaking out.
jerseys. And he wears the number 9 in their blue jerseys. But do not worry,
There you
same
go.
batter.
1-1 the count on Medhurst. Everything's okay up here. 4-0 the score. Bucs down. Still no runs today. Big swing and a miss. Big hack from Medhurst. Came up empty. 1-2. Medhurst so far today 0 for 1. Grounded out to short back in the 2nd inning. Playing left field today. Right on left matchup. Ferris stands tall. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on the high fastball. A big strikeout for Grady Ferris and the Bucs. 1 gone here in the 4th.
Yeah, well, that's really important for Ferris to come into this game and mow down the first batter he faced. Had 3 strikeouts in his last outing across 3 innings. He's not a guy that's going to get a lot of Ks, but that's just such a momentum booster. And as we mentioned, momentum's such a big part of this game. Already giving up a home run this inning, the Bucs have to change it around.
Well, first pitch is outside to Scotty Fagan. Worked a walk back in the 2nd inning. 1-0 now. Here's the pitch, outside. Ferris working with Taylor for the first time this season. You saw when Ferris ran onto the field from the bullpen. He talked with Luke Taylor for a while, making sure they're all on the same page. 2-0 now, the count on Fagan. Pitch, swung on, crack, deep left field. Back goes Siselski. He looks up in front of the wall and he makes the grab. A long out, but an out nevertheless for Scotty Fagan. And there's 2 gone.
Well, on that one, if you're Grady Ferris, you say, thank you, wind, because the wind howling in right now from left field. And that ball on most days when there's not wind is soaring out of here. But even Siselski was fooled. He had to come in to make the grab. A nice play there.
Well, the pitch to Weston Maisie left outside. That had the sound off the bat.
I mean, it looked like it was
It
just going to be a
looked, yeah.
line drive over the wall.
Well, everything deadened out there in left field. Siselski even had to come in on a couple balls. Dove already in this game. Changeup in there for a strike from Ferris. 1-1 now on Maisie. It was 0 for 1 on the day.
He keeps losing his hat out there and left.
Yeah, a lot of action. 1-1 outside. Maisie showed bunt back in the 2nd. Popped out to the catcher Taylor. And that's the play that Taylor threw back to 1st or 3rd, make that. And gunned out the runner via force. 2-1 now on the 2nd baseman. Pitch outside, 3-1.
Well, it's funny. I asked Siselski before the game. I was like, the bats seem to be kind of waking up across the league. You're getting more action in the outfield. He was like, yeah, a few have been hit my way. And then today he's been running all over creation out there in left field.
Here's the 3-1 outside. That's a 5-pitch walk to Weston Maisie. He's aboard with 2 outs here in the 4th.
Well, that's something R.J. Rue didn't do a lot in his 3 innings. Only gave up 2 walks. That's not a trend that the Bucs want to start. As a team, they've been pretty good at keeping free passes to a minimum this season. And obviously, when the teams start hitting, you want to have as few people as possible on the base paths. So if you're Ferris, trying to straighten that out is huge.
Check back the runner.
He
Ferris
lost the ball.
actually, he whiffed on the ball.
Whew.
And that's a balk.
Yeah, that's
2nd balk of the day for the Bucs. So, Weston Maisie takes 2nd now. Ferris had a good move. He was too quick for himself. The ball just popped out of his glove, and when he looked up, it was rolling around on the rubber. But Dylan Marks, still a 0-0 count on him. Here's the pitch, upstairs on the heat. 1-0 now on Marks. 1 for 2 on the day, singled back in the 1st inning.
What have we seen? 1 balk all season entering today?
I know. Unbelievable. We saw a balk from the minors, that was, when they had 7 errors. back earlier in the season. 1-0's the count on Marks. Here's the offering. Curveball in there for a strike. Nice pitch there from Ferris. Wind picking up even more here at Mulcahy Stadium. The sun's out, though. No rain or precipitation in Anchorage, Alaska. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. 2 runs already home for the Pilots. Pitch inside, but called a strike. Just clipped the corner. A 1-2 on the fastball. Marks the leadoff man, playing shortstop today. Counts 1-2. Ferris ahead. Long pause. Stands tall on the rubber. 6'4" frame. Here's the kick and the deal. Pitch swung on, lifted high in the air towards right field. Yule in front of the wall, and he makes the one-handed grab as he crashes into the subway sign. Nice play from Logan Yule, the right fielder. 2 runs come home for the Pilots, but that's all they can get. We go to the top of the 5th. Still 4-0. Pilots on top. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium, everyone. We're in the 5th inning. Nate Muncy leading off for the Bucs. And it's a new pitcher on the hill for the Pilots, Jackson Halverson out of Sacramento State. His 3rd appearance of the regular season. 4 innings pitched with a 9 ERA and 1 strikeout. His first pitch to Muncy is outside, but called a strike. Just clipped the outside corner.
A very, very impressive day for BJ Rodriguez. Ends up with 6 strikeouts and 3 hits over 4 innings. No runs given up.
Yo, 1 outside, this time fully. 1-1 now on Nate Muncy. Muncy struck out back in the 3rd on a check swinger. He went all the way around, tied up there on an inside pitch. Here's the 1-1 offering, cut and a miss on the off speed. 1-2 now. You got to think, the Bucs are happy to see BJ Rodriguez out of the game on the pitching side of things. He's still in there, though. Hit a 2-run jack last inning. 1-2, bounced up there. Nice block from Bergholt. 2-2 now on Nate Muncy.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't give him one more inning because you can pull him after 10 pitches, but, I mean, I don't have the exact number
Bucs
right
can't
here.
hit off him.
Yeah, they can't get a hit off of him.
2-2, swung on and lifted high, foul territory, and makes the stands. On top of the Bucs clubhouse there. Fans are seated outside of the Bucs clubhouse with a fence in front of them. You got stands above the Bucs dugout, under us, and it wraps around all towards right field. And it's separated. You got the Pilots on the right side, Bucs on the left side. Funny enough, we're on the right side of the booth.
Yeah.
And the Pilots broadcaster on the left. Muncy tops one foul.
I mean, Rodriguez was only at 60 pitches. We'll see if it pays off. Halverson, you mentioned the ERA kind of up there, but he's been solid this year in his last appearance, which didn't count towards the stats, but went a scoreless inning against the Gold Panthers.
He kicks and deals the 2-2. Cold strike 3 on the breaking ball. Really nice 12-6 curveball to Nate Muncy. He walks back to the dugout slowly, and there's one gone here in the 5th.
Well, it's nice for Halverson because he's facing off against the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to begin his outing. Muncy, who has struggled this year, hitting just around 150. Jaden Toki was in a bit of a slump, and then Grant Haas, who's been off and on this season, so kind of easing into the lineup.
Toki looks at a first pitch inside. Well, maybe they pulled BJ Rodriguez because he has 60 pitches, but he's also hitting. So
Yeah,
it
but I
takes a lot out of
I
you.
always wonder like how much one at bat is gonna
It's
do.
true. Toki swings and misses.
Because he's not fielding as well. It's not like you have to add that into the equation. And
That's true. Also, he's
he
feeling
pimped
good.
the ball, so like maybe that one swing took too much out of him. Had to run the bases as well, you know.
That's true. 1-1. Clip the inside part of the plate. Well, listen, they took him out pitching. If they took him out hitting, I think you'd be way more upset.
Yeah.
The two-way player is BJ Rodriguez, and he's doing that to the best possible version here on this Wednesday night. 1-2 pitch, cut and a miss on the breaking ball. Second straight strikeout for Halverson, and there's 2 gone here in the top of the 5th.
Well, that's now 8 strikeouts today by Bucs batters. But how about this breaking ball from Halverson? It's the same exact pitch that got Muncy looking. This time Toki decides, you know what, I'll go for it. But that's a disappointing start for the Bucs offense.
Now Grant Haas, the number 9 hitter. Halverson kicks and deals, fastball misses down low. 1-0 on Grant Haas, who struck out looking back into third. Halverson in his 3rd appearance so far was roughed up a couple times, 2 earned runs in the past 2 appearances. One to the minors, or both to the minors actually.
I don't know if you can call that roughed up.
Not roughed up, but if you pitch 2 innings, give up 2 runs, it's not the best. I mean, he has a 9 ERA.
Hey, they would take that right now because they'd
It's
still
true.
be in the lead.
First time Halverson's facing any other team besides the Matsu Miners. 2-0. Here's the pitch, cut and a miss on the high fastball, 2-1.
Yeah, fastball's working really well. It's just been that pitch, and then he also has gotten some swings on the curveball. Don't change it up. You have something working, just keep throwing it, and obviously the Bucs hitters gonna keep swinging.
Counts 2-1 on Grant Haas, 0 for 1 on the day. Here's the windup, cut and a miss again on the high cheese. He swung right through that one.
Can you guess this next pitch?
I think he might go back, although his breaking balls looked really
no,
good.
it's gonna be the breaking ball, I'm sure. Got 2 strikeouts
I don't
on
know.
already.
Why
I'm,
not go
I'm
back
going
to-
inside breaking ball.
I think he goes back to the high cheddar. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Halverson kicks and deals. Breaking ball just missed inside.
That's been a strike a couple times today.
Tunneling action is working for Halverson. Haas was caught looking there.
Yeah.
If that was a couple inches side, he would have been down
Not
on
even a couple
strikes.
inches, a couple
Centimeters?
centimeters.
Inches is about as low as you can
Yeah.
go. I didn't say feet. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on line. Right side base hit. Over the second baseman, Maisie. That's a big hit for Grant Haas. Breaks up the possible 1-2-3 inning for Halverson. And now the top of the lineup for the Bucs, and Kai McGarry comes up with 2 outs.
Yeah, Haas just kind of reached for that one to get out of an 0 for 5 slump dating back to yesterday. Sometimes all it needs is one pitch, and now you're working into the top of the order. Kai McGarry had an easy hit last time, but you will gladly take that again.
And now Kai McGarry, like you said, singled back in the 4th, struck out in the 1st. Pitch to him, strike called on the inside corner.
The Bucs have been a little less keen on stealing bases here today. I'm not sure if they know something about Burgle, who has been not used much this year, but know something about his arm. But it'll be interesting to see if you want to get Haas in the scoring position.
Counts 0-1 on McGarry. Here's the pitch. Inside fastball called to strike. Same pitch, same result for Halverson. You said the stolen bases. Well, the Bucs lead the ABL, 9 of them coming into today. Haas takes his lead off first. McGarry waves his yellow and black bat. Here's the 0-2 offering, swung on and chopped over to short. Marks has time, Fields fires in time to first. So the Bucs strand Grant Haas over at first after his 2-out single. We'll head to the last of the 5th inning. Brady Ferris takes the mound for the Bucs for a 2nd inning of work. We'll be right back. It's Bucs Baseball. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back into the broadcast, everyone. Milo Hoffman with Alex Burstein. We go to the home half of the 5th inning. The Bucs are down 4-0 to the Glacier Pilots. Still, Grady Ferris on the hill for the Bucs, working his 2nd inning of action. First pitch, swung on, popped up, stays in the infield. Underhill right there, doesn't even move, and he makes the grab. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Andrew Becker. And there's 1 gone here in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, when you're able to neutralize the best hitter on the opposition, that's a good sign. Becker had that very nice double last time up, so a good start here to the 5th inning. The Bucs still just need to punch something through.
Hunter Klotz looking at that first pitch. Strike. Ferris stands tall on the rubber. Has looked really good so far this season. At least in the regular season. 0-1 pitch. Just misses outside. He was roughed up for 6 runs in the exhibition game against the Miners, but listen, that's why they call them exhibition games. 3rd appearance so far this season. ERA under 2. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now on Klotz.
Well, he's someone who didn't play a ton this past spring at Cal State Fullerton, so that was kind of his first big outing in a while. Sometimes that takes a little bit of a learning curve to get back to it.
1-2, check swing, appeal down. He didn't go, says third baseman Kyle Stutz. 2-2 now on Hunter Klotz. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Pilots with a 4-0 lead. Bucs offense has gone quiet for the 2nd game in a row. 2-2, swung on, fouled right back, just under it. Yeah, Ferris, you said limited action, just pitched 5 innings with Cal State Fullerton. Last year's season. Counts even at 2-2 on Klotz. Pitch fouled at the plate. 2-2, still the count. Taylor gobbles the ball, throws back to Ferris. 1 out here on the bottom of the 5th, and the Bucs are in a slump right now, to say the least. The energy's lacking. There was so much energy at the start of the season, even 2 days ago. It's been zapped. 2-2, off speed, check swing. He did not go, so the count runs full now on Klotz. Go for 2 on the day. Flew out in the 1st inning to 3rd base, and then struck out looking in the 3rd. Here's the payoff pitch, outside. That's ball 4, and a 1-out walk. Pilots have a runner aboard here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, that's a good at-bat there from Hunter Klotz. He's a experienced ball player, just wrapped up his 4th year of collegiate baseball. He'll be going back for a 5th year with Kent State, but he knows the game well, and it's a really good job of seeing those pitches from Ferris.
Now Adam Bergholt, the catcher. Long pause from Ferris. Here's the pitch. Just missed inside. Bergholt having himself a really nice day. Walked back in the 3rd, hit a double in the 1st, came around to score. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball missed upstairs. The 2-0 now on the catcher. Klotz leads off first.
Singled in the 3rd.
Singled in the 3rd.
Yeah.
You're right. I couldn't read my handwriting. I thought that was a single. 2 for 2. 2-0. Missed inside.
Of course, his stay at first was very limited as Cooper Soselski got a big throw out on the same play, but hey, it goes as a single.
Well, he's ahead in the count 3-0 right now. Ferris kicks in, deals, pitch misses high. That's a 4-pitch walk. Luke Taylor going to go out and talk to his pitcher Ferris. Bergholt walks up 90 feet, so does Klotz. 1st and 2nd now for the Pilots.
Yeah, this is a really good mound visit from Taylor. We talked about free passes, something that Rue did a good job with, just 2 walks through 3 innings. And now for Ferris, that's his 3rd in just an inning and a 3rd of work. So just calm things down. You can see that your defense has done good today. You don't want to feed them any meatballs, but give them something to ground, give them something to pop up, and just try to work from there. Because right now, trailing by 4 with your offense playing like this, you want as much of room as possible for your offense to get something back.
A double play would be magic right here for Ferris. Pitch off speed, just missed outside to Landon Teasing, who's also having himself a really nice day. Single back in the 1st inning. walked in the fourth, came around to score on B.J. Rodriguez's 2-run shot. 1-0 the count on the third baseman. Ferris peers in for the sign after that mound visit from Luke Taylor. Runners off first and second. Here's the pitch, missed out there and bounced in front of Taylor. It goes all the way up the first baseline. Both runners advance. So now second and third for the Pilots with 1 out.
Yeah, Ferris just looks completely in his head right now. Never want to see a wild pitch, especially with 2 runners on, and now a base hit could do some serious damage for teasing. I mean, or if he keeps throwing like this, he might walk the bases loaded.
Corners are in. Now the middle of the infield also comes in. Landon Underhill is right on the lip of the turf that's green in the dirt. Grant Haas is about halfway. Corners are fully in. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Inside, almost hit him. 3-0 now. Ferris 1 pitch away from his 3rd straight walk. That would load the bases for the Pilots. Pitch in there for a strike. 3-1.
Smile on the face at season there. He thought he had a 4-pitch walk. Now this is Ferris's game here. You battled out 1 strike. Now can you put another one into the zone, something he's struggled with this inning.
3-1 pitch, taken in for a strike called. It was inside on the upper inside part of the strike zone. So from 3-0 to 3-2 goes Ferris. Big moment in this ball game. Second and third, 1 out for the Pilots. Payoff pitch, missed inside on the breaking ball. So it's a walk, and the bases are juice for the Peas. You're in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, that's really tough for Ferris to work your way all the way back from 3-0 to a full count and then give up just a pitch that missed a little bit inside. He looks a little frustrated on the mound. You have to block that all out. A double play still could get you out of this inning unscathed, but not the guy you want at the plate right now.
Not at all. It's B.J. Rodriguez coming off a 2-run shot. Pitch in there for a strike.
Well, did you hear the PA announcer? His parents are actually here today.
I did hear that.
So
everything's going right for B.J. Rodriguez. Parents in the stands, nice outing on the mound, and a 2-run homer. Down in the count 0-1. Swings, lines one right side through for a base hit. Logan Yule picks it up the right fielder. 1 run comes around to score. That's all they can get. So it's a ribby single for B.J. Rodriguez, and it's 5-0 Pilots here in the 5th.
yeah, that ball just pieced in between the gap of the first and second baseman here for the Bucs. Good job by Logan Yule to get there quickly. That's usually a hit that's going to score 2 with a lefty at the plate, but an RBI for B.J. Rodriguez, 3 on the day. He entered today with just 4 on the season, almost doubled his total.
The B.J. Rodriguez game. Pitch to Bergholt, fouled off left side. Sorry, Medhurst, that is, the left fielder. Medhurst so far 0 for 2 on the day. Ground out and a strikeout. Base is still loaded for the Pilots. Up 5-0. Corners in. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball outside. And it's 0-2. Well, Ferris still trying to limit the damage. 1 run already home here in the 5th. Kicks and deals out of the windup. 0-2. Missed outside on the off speed. Big inning so far for the Peas. 1 run already home. 7 hits on the day for the Pilots. Medhurst at the dish. 1-2's the count. Bases juiced. Here's the offering. Missed outside.
It looks like John Witt warming up right now in the Bucs bullpen. He's been a very quality reliever, and obviously the hope is you can save him to at least the 6th inning, but another walk and you might be forced to make a change here.
2-2's the count on Medhurst. Offering in there for strike 3. A breaking ball just up the outside corner. Medhurst not a fan of that call. He walks back to the dugout, and there's 2 outs in the 5th.
Yeah, just a very late hook on that pitch from Ferris to eke to the outside part of the zone. 2nd strikeout of the game for him, and that's huge because now you can just get 1 out. Don't have to worry about any tag-ups or anything.
Off-swing misses inside to Scotty Fagan. Almost hit him.
Yeah, well, he tried that pitch against a righty. It worked against a left-handed hitter. You got to be a little more careful when there's a guy in that batter's box.
Hit by pitch brings home another run. 1-0's the count. Here's the pitch, swung on, chopped on the ground towards third. Toki dives, fires to second, in time. They got the force. BJ Rodriguez was gunned down by a matter of milliseconds. But nevertheless, Grady Ferris works out of the jam. 1 run comes around to score for the Pilots. They have a 5-0 lead as we head to the 6th. We'll head things over to Alex Burstein on the other side. You're watching Anchorage Bucs baseball. We'll be right back.
Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, the Bucs trailing the Pilots 5-0 as we enter inning number 6 of action. Jackson Halverson will stay in for a second inning of work. The tall right-hander out of Sacramento State. He worked very well against the 7, 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Bucs. Now he'll try to do the same against the heart of the lineup, 2, 3, and 4. Logan Yule in the righty's batter's box, donning his blue batting gloves. First pitch, fastball hits the outside part of the zone. 0-1 the count. A righty on lefty matchup to start things off here in the 6th inning. The Bucs haven't scored since all the way back in the first of yesterday's contest. 0-1 swung on and missed on inside breaking ball. Yule quickly falls behind in the count, 0-2. Yule has worked his way up in the lineup. He's number 2 for back-to-back days. Now trying for his 3rd reach of the day. 0-2 pitch. Yule check swing on a high fastball. They say he doesn't go. And he'll stay in the batter's box. Now down in the count, 1-2. Well, Halverson looked really nice in the 5th. A pair of strikeouts. Gave up 1 reach, but a ground out. Here's the 1-2. Misses in the dirt and will even out the count at 2 apiece. The Bucs have 5 hits today, just 2 less than the Pilots, but the difference, they haven't punched any runners in. Runners left on the base paths. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball called, strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. 3rd strikeout of the outing for Jackson Halverson, and there's a 1 away in the top of the 6th.
Ton of strikeouts looking today for the Bucs, and that was the deal yesterday as well. Looks like we're gonna have a pinch hitter, Sean Toger, coming up to the plate for the Bucs. And the bats have just been quiet. There's nothing else to say.
Yeah, very early switch as the Bucs try to get some offensive output. Toger hitting for Reese Sherman in the DH spot. First pitch to the lefty, check swing. He went all the way around, and that will be a 1st strike. Toger saw that pitch going outside, tried to hold back, but couldn't do it. His bat spun all the way around. He awaits in the lefty's batter's box. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball high and away. Toger rocking his bright white batting gloves. He scrapes the bat on the plate and readies for the 1-1 offering from Halverson, who's looked really impressive. Just wrapped up his freshman campaign at Sac State. Here's the 1-1. That one bounces in the dirt off the equipment of Bergholt. That's when you're happy there's no one on the base paths.
You know, looks like that fastball's zipping so much, it's even hard to handle for Bergholt, but it's also hard to handle for the hitters. I mean, fastball has just been right on by, and he's playing off of the off. When you got it going for a guy like this who has good stuff, it's nearly impossible to hit.
2-1 pitch, called strike near the bottom of the zone. We see a fastball, curveball, changeup, slider on the Halverson, but right now the fastball's working. There's no need to switch it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the left-handed Sean Toger. The next pitch chases a fastball outside, swung on and missed. That's another strikeout, the 4th in 2 innings for Halverson, and there's 2 away in the 6th.
Fastball right on by, and that was almost a foot outside of the plate, and Toger just went down chasing on that one. Just swing happy are the Bucs, so they can't swing when it's in the zone, and fooled on a fastball that was way outside.
Brings Landon Underhill to the plate. First pitch to the lefty is fouled off to the left side out of play. Well, now you have back-to-back-to-back lefties in the 2 through 4 spot. Logan Ewell, Sean Toger, and Landon Underhill. So, trying to do something, a right-hander into the game in the form of Halverson. Here's the 0-1 offering. Underhill looks at one down low, evens out the count at 1 apiece. Seems like he's a guy who could spark some momentum into this team.
It is, and you like the swing that he had on that first foul. Looked up here, smiling around. When he's in command of the strike zone, is Underhill, he's real dominant.
1-1 pitch is outside. Flew out to center field on a uncharacteristic early swing back in the 2nd. In the 4th, he reached on a fielder's choice, came all the way around to 2nd, but was stranded there. Here's the 2-1 offering, grounded towards first, making the catch on the ground is Klotz, and he'll run to first base in time. So, a 1-2-3, top of inning number 6 for the Bucs. They'll try to keep their defense going in the bottom half. It's a 5-0 Pilots lead. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs Baseball. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, a 5-0 Pilots lead as we move to the last of the 6 here in cloudy Anchorage, Alaska. Called to the pen for the Anchorage Bucs as John Witt comes in to relieve Grady Ferris, who had an up-and-down 2 innings of relief, only ended up giving up 1 run, pitched out of a pickle in the 5th, and keeps us at a somewhat manageable deficit for the Bucs. 5th appearance of the season for Witt, a right-hander out of Phoenix, Arizona. Just wrapped up his time at Paradise Valley Community College. He'll be playing Division II baseball at Arkansas Tech next year. It'll be the 9-hitter Weston Maisie to lead things off in the 6th. The second baseman trying for a big hit here to start off the inning. In the lefty's batter's box, first pitch takes a fastball outside in the zone, 0-1 the count.
Interesting to see John Witt on here. Usually, like you said earlier, in high leverage spots, he was warming up last inning. But this time, down 5-0, on the verge of a blowout. Still got to keep his team in it.
0-1 pitch, misses outside. Well, it shows that the Bucs think they still have a chance in it, and
yeah.
I mean, rightfully so. We've seen some big innings out of them. We've also seen big innings against this Pilots bullpen. I'm sure Jackson Halverson is going to play at least the 7th because he's been excellent so far today. 1-1 offerings down in the dirt, 2-1 the count on Weston Maisie. But, you know, you never know. The Bucs having to navigate 5 games in 5 days, it's not something easy to do. So, trying to use all their arms in their best ability. 2-1, grounded softly towards second. Landon Underhill scoops and throws to first in time. A nice 4-3 put out to start off the outing for Witt.
Nice soft contact for John Witt. That's what he's been doing all season long. And I was actually watching Nate Muncy on that play. He sort of veered over to the right, thought he had a chance at it, and then had to really book it towards first base, but got there in time. He stepped on the bag, and instantly the throw was in his glove.
So it gives way to the top of the lineup. Dylan Marks, the one-hitter, gets ready for a righty-on-righty matchup. First pitch from Witt, breaking ball that gets into the zone. Nice pitch from John Witt. 0-1 the count on Dylan Marks. Marks gets ready in the righty's batter's box. A half-black, half-teal bat in his hands. Here comes the 0-1 offering. Breaking ball swung on and just fouled back. 0-2 the count. It's one of the prettier colors we've seen on the wooden bat.
And it looks like it's a torpedo bat.
Yeah, ooh.
It's a torpedo bat.
Good call there.
Dylan Marks is rocking. So, of course, that blew up in the MLB. It shook the world, but now a lot of those MLB players are using it, and it's made its way to the ABL.
Here's the 0-2 pitch, fouled off. Marks has hit really well against the Bucs this season. He had the single back in the first. If you go to the early season series between these teams, he had a game where he went 3 for 5 with a double. And as always, he's been very impressive over at that shortstop spot. This has been a great year for shortstops in the ABL. 0-2 pitch just goes outside. We'll move it to a 1-2 count. Such an important position, and we've seen a lot of stars from it.
Yeah, and Grant Haas has been good over there at short for the Bucs. And so, you know, the Bucs doing their part in that conversation.
1-2 breaking ball poked towards right field, and that's going to drop fair. Rounding first base and sticking there is going to be Dylan Marks, and that's a 1-out single for the right-handed hitter. The Pilots just keep putting runners on, and most of the innings they've been able to score them as well.
Just off the inside of the bat there, just kind of fought it off towards right field, landed in fair territory just barely. So, by a couple feet, and just like that, Marks is on. Pilots don't want to let the foot off the gas anytime soon.
Andrew Becker in the lefty's batter's box holds his right elbow very high. First pitch swung on and missed. He does not like that swing. Becker, a lot of equipment on him. He has the red arm sleeve, red batting gloves, his bright blue bat. It's a serenade of colors there in the batter's box.
And then the plain white jersey.
I know. Compliments well. 1-0 pitch, grounded up the middle, and it's through. All the runners will advance the base. There's runners at first and second with just one away in the bottom of inning number 6.
Everything is landing for the Pilots. Nothing is going right for the Bucs, and it seems like when you're in a slump like this, you feel like you can't get out. You just got to keep grinding away, keep commanding the strike zone, and eventually things will start to turn your way. But right now, it's hard to be a part of if you're an Anchorage fan or a player.
Witt entered today with a whip of just 1.42. That means he's been giving up less than 1.5 base runners an inning. Already 2 so far in his first inning of relief. Klotz at the plate. First pitch taken for a strike. The left-hander out of Kent State. He knows Nate Muncy very well. Those two both play first base. They both have been, I guess it would be Muncy mainly learning from him, the 5th year and the freshman. No balls and 1 strike on the tall lefty. Next pitch, big swing to miss, and he'll go down in the count 0-2.
And the Bucs hoping that little teammate action here. Hoping that Klotz grounds out to Muncy, steps on the bag, throw to second. There's a double play. A Kent State DP.
If only there was a middle infielder from Kent State as well. Then it would be a full routine. No balls and 2 strikes. Next pitch to the lefty. It's down low. Klotz, a native of Martinsburg, Pennsylvania, stands at a nice 6'3", 205. A good presence. He has that bigger frame of a catcher.
Kind of like a lanky frame.
He's played as a catcher, designated hitter, and first baseman. You see that often. A lot of times those positions interchangeable. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the first baseman tonight. Here comes the next pitch. Fouled off the inside of the bat.
That was a fast swing from Klotz. Kind of a late emergency hack there on the breaking ball that was in on his hands. Staying alive. You're 1-2. So far, flew out, struck out, and walked in the 5th.
2 runners on, 1 away. Bucs trail 5-0 in the bottom of inning number 6. John Witt trying to work out of this. He looks towards second, the 1-2. Fastball just misses outside. It's been very hard to guess the zone of Ethan McCraney, the home plate umpire tonight. 3-man crew for this Wednesday night affair at Mulcahy Stadium, just nearing 8 o'clock local time here in Anchorage. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners take their lead. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss. Off speed from John Witt. He's got his first strikeout of the evening, and there's 2 away for Adam Bergholt.
A nice, big breaking ball over the middle of the plate, but sometimes the off speed and the spin will just get you no matter the location.
So Bergholt, who already has 3 reaches today, will need to make it 4 to keep this inning going. Becker at first, Marks at second. Witt looks over at second base and now readies for the first pitch. Here it comes. Off speed goes low. 1 ball and no strikes. The catcher tonight doubled for an RBI back in the first, singled in the third, and walked in the 5th. So he's found a bunch of ways to get on. But you always want to see out of a utility guy like him. 1-0 pitch goes outside. Well, Milo, another run or 2 this inning, and the Pilots are going to just be swimming in control. 5 runs, obviously a big deficit, but you just need 1 or 2 big innings. When it gets to 6, 7, 8, that's when you start throwing on the white towel. 2 balls and no strikes on Bergholt. Here comes the next pitch. Breaks slow. Ooh, that's a tough one.
And just low below the knees there. And this is a big out. Obviously down to the count 3-0. Try to pour in a fastball here for a strike. Get back into this one because you don't want to give it more than 5.
Bergholt trying for his 4th reach today. He lines one up the middle. Should be playable for Kai McGarry, who makes the grab for out number 3. 2 runners stranded on the base paths. No runs for the Pilots in the bottom of the 6th. We'll go to inning number 7. It's the Pilots 5, the Bucs nothing. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs baseball. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, a 5-0 lead for the Pilots as we enter the top half of inning number 7. Jackson Halverson will stay in for a 3rd inning of relief. He's looked great through his first 2 innings. Well, Milo, you don't usually see swings at 3-0 pitches, but that's how the Bucs got out of that bottom half of the 6th. Good job by John Witt to pitch around 2 hits, and now it's really the time you have to score a run or 2 in this inning to really feel like you're in the game if you're the Bucs.
Yeah, and you get 2, you're back in it. Even if you get 1, it gives you something to build off of. And now, of course, in the later innings, you need to get something going. This trickles into the 8th and the 9th. It starts to weigh on you, and you believe that you might be on the verge of your 3rd straight loss. The
last time the Bucs scored more than 2 runs in an inning, the 3rd inning of Monday's contest against the Miners, the Bucs scored 5 to go up 8-1 before giving up 9 unanswered just a couple of innings later. Luke Taylor leads things off. The catcher takes first pitch high, 1-0 the counts. Halverson came in inning number 5. A couple of strikeouts, gave up 1 hit, but got out of the inning unscathed. And then a very dominant 6. Strikeout, strikeout, ground out to keep his day going. Here's the 1-0, fouled back above our heads here in the press box. And we'll even out the count at 1 apiece. You were saying that the 9 ERA is a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I was saying he's only pitched 4 innings.
It's true.
And that's
You're
what you show.
very right.
Giving up 2 runs in 2 innings can't really judge a pitcher off of that.
Nope, not at all.
1 ball, 1 strike, next pitch. Breaks just outside, and Taylor will move ahead in the count 2-1. You can't really judge a pitcher based on ERA until they probably hit at least the 9-inning mark.
Oh.
Then they pitch the full game. It might even be closer to the 15-20 mark.
And he looks dominant, too. Commanding.
2-1 fastball swung on and missed, Pollies.
Yeah, no, all good. And just Luke Taylor right through that one. The fastball. He's been a little bit of a scuffle. Now,
Yeah.
we've seen it these last couple of games. Looking for a hit here today for the first time. 0-2 so far and 0-4 yesterday.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Taylor. Next pitch is grounded on a high bounce towards short. Marks fields it cleanly and darts it across the diamond in time. So that will be a 6-3 putout to start off inning number 7. It gives way to Cooper Soselski.
Here's a little nugget for you. This is actually insane. The Bucs didn't lose 3 in a row last season.
Wow.
I know it's a different set of players and a different set of teams in the entire ABL, but they won on the rain out, and they did not lose 3 in a row all of last summer. So trying to do something they haven't done in a while. Not trying to, but it might happen.
Pinch hitter Austin Gamel comes to the plate for Cooper Soselski in the 7th. First pitch to Gamel is a breaking pitch in there for a strike. You got to keep digging. You have to find the last time it happens.
All right.
You're eating your trail mix. We're putting you to work here, Milo. No balls and 1 strike on Gamel. I imagine it's happened in the last couple of years. Next pitch swung on and missed on a high and outside fastball. These Bucs players are just getting very excited at this Halverson fastball and have had no success with it.
All right, so I got it.
Okay.
July 14th, 17th, and 18th of the 2022-23 summer.
Pitch bounces in the dirt.
It was to the... Sorry, it happened before that. July 7th, 8th, and 10th. They actually lost 4 in a row
Okay.
to the Pilots, the Peninsula Oilers, who are no longer in the ABL for this season, and then the Pilots again. So, Pilots close it out then.
1-2 pitch. Breaking ball bounced towards first. It will just head foul. Well, that's a while. It's not a streak you want to be a part of.
No.
The Bucs have lost 2 in a row this week. A 11-2 loss to the Chinooks last night, an 11-9 loss to the Miners to start the week on Monday. And all these games have been at home. That might be the most worrying part. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Austin Gamel. He waves his black bat in the air. Next pitch, breaking ball popped up left side of the field. Should be easy. Ranging in is Medhurst, and he makes the grab for out number 1. Excuse me, out number 2.
Gamel just flung out his arms there and just kind of prayed. Made contact, but weak contact over the left. Now, there is one slight connection to that team back in 23-24 and 22-23. Joey Narrett, member of this team, was also a member of that team. So, he's not trying to be a part of the only 2 teams to lose 3 in a row.
Nate Muncy at the plate takes first pitch, strike to the outside part of the zone. Very interesting. We've not seen Joey Narrett play this week.
Yeah.
He was a part of the starting lineup in just about every other game through the start of this regular season. 0-1 pitch, check swing from Muncy. The appeal down the third base. Kyle Strutt says no, and that will be a 1-1 count on Muncy. 2 strikeouts today. Once looking, once swinging in the 3rd and 5th innings. Trying to break that streak today. Here's the 1-1. Lined high towards center field. A couple steps in. Easy grab by Becker. Well, that's another 1-2-3 inning from Jackson Halverson. What an outing for him. We'll move to the bottom of the 7th. Stretch time here at Mulcahy Stadium. Pilots on top 5-0. This is Anchorage Bucs Baseball. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, we go to the home half of the 7th, a 5-0 lead for the Pilots over the Bucs here. In game number 3 of the week, the Bucs dropped the first 2, trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak. Couple of changes. Austin Gamel comes in for Cooper Siselski, out in left field. And another pitching change for the Bucs is coming in to relieve John Witt. It will be the right-hander Anthony Steinhoff. Anthony Steinhoff might be the dictionary definition of length. 6'8", 205, making his 3rd appearance of the year. A perfect ERA in 1 2/3 innings pitched. Landon Teasing starts things off here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch from Steinhoff just misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes to count. We last saw Steinhoff on June 18th, 7 days ago. Went 2/3 innings, 1 strikeout, no hits, no runs. Love a repeat performance of that here. Here's the 1-0 fastball, just starts low.
Steinhoff, like you said, lanky guy, works with a fastball and it has that outside movement to righties, that changeup that can belt away.
Stands tall, looks in, and here comes the pitch. Just fouled back. Teason's had himself quite a day. Singled back in the first, got an RBI off of that, and then advanced to second on the balk. Don't see a lot of those. Walked in the 4th, came around to score, and then walked in the 5th, was stranded at second. 2 balls and 1 strike on Teasing. Here's the next pitch. Just goes outside.
Barely missed there on the breaking ball outside.
Three balls and 1 strike. Steinhoff stands tall and delivers. Fouled back again. You know, Milo, I've been trying to place what these uniforms remind me of. They're very, very similar to the retro Los Angeles Dodgers jerseys.
Yeah, they are. It's Dodgers
and
colors.
especially the font. Like, it reminds me of the Jackie Robinson jerseys.
It is, you're right. It's like Dodger blue.
Yep.
It's Dodger blue. But it's interesting because the top is like a different shade
I
of
was
white.
just about to say this.
Off-white. Yeah.
3-1 pitch is fouled back again. It's a very interesting dynamic. You have the white jersey, and then you go to the pants, which are a slightly brighter white. They have a blue line streaking down the side.
Off-white.
Yes.
Off-white, white, and then the blue line. Right. Off-white, white, right.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Teasing. Here comes the payoff pitch. Fouled back. You know, maybe if you throw like a pink shirt into the laundry load with the jerseys, they would darken a little, and then it would be one clean look.
Yeah. Or you would do that to the pants.
No, because you need the shirt to get darker, not the pants.
No, the pants are lighter.
Okay.
Right? Don't you think?
We'll see.
We'll see. Oh, okay. Interesting.
3 balls, 2 strikes on Landon Teasing. Second payoff pitch way inside. Kicking back his legs is Teasing, and now he'll get a nice short walk over to first. First batter faced by Steinhoff ends in a walk, and there'll be 1 on with no outs for B.J. Rodriguez. What a day for the left-hander. Started the day as a pitcher, went 4 innings of scoreless ball, then hit a 2-run home run in the 4th, and then an RBI single in the 5th. The only thing that can make this day better for him would be if he went 1 more inning and could be the qualified pitcher for the win.
Yeah. I think another homer would also make this day better.
Runner off of first pitch to Rodriguez, looped down the left field line and travels foul.
He got a good hand, too, when it came up. Noticing the fans starting to catch on to what he's doing in this game.
Well, he's got his family here. Maybe they're saying everyone get a little extra cheer. Rodriguez out of Fresno State. Lead off of first base by Teasing. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the next pitch from Steinhoff. It's laced towards right field. Yule charges in, slides, and makes the grab. He'll throw the first and double off the Pilots. Landon Teasing had way too big of a jump there. A nice play by Logan Yule, and just like that, there's 2 away.
Really heads up. It's the second kind of similar play we've seen from the Bucs so far. Taylor doubled someone off over at third base, and this time Yule to first base. So yeah, nice sliding grab, and the best thing about that was that he prepared himself to hop up quickly and make the throw with the safe slide.
Logan Yule really athletic out there in right field. No errors this season. First pitch inside to Luke Medhurst, who had a nice grab himself over in left field in the last half inning. We mentioned wearing the number 43 jersey tonight, usually is number 9, but must not have been a number 9 jersey in the white, so he'll switch things over on away versus home games. 1-0 pitch, fouled off. Speaking of road games, both of these teams hit the road tomorrow night. Mulcahy Stadium will be empty unless there's some Legion ball. The Bucs traveling to the Chinooks for a 6 p.m. first pitch over at Lee Jordan Field. The Pilots traveling over to Palmer to take on the Miners. 1 ball, 1 strike on Medhurst. Steinhoff, the long wait, and here comes the pitch. Fouled off to the left-hand side. Well, speaking of those teams, it is a high-scoring affair over in Palmer tonight. The Chinooks just holding on, up 8-7 over the Miners right now in the top of the 7th. They had an 8-0 lead, and then the Miners scored 6 in the 5th. The Miners just keep on with these comebacks. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Medhurst. The next pitch is bounce foul to the right side. Also, they had the big comeback Sunday, Monday, and now today.
Unbelievable. The Chinooks are playing just unbelievable baseball right now, but just incredibly entertaining stuff.
Well, we have a somewhat low-scoring affair here, and about an hour away, you have a lot more offense. So it depends if you're a defense or an offensive fan. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Luke Medhurst. Next pitch, he'll bounce this one down the third base line, and it goes foul. So Medhurst just battling here. A few foul balls to stay alive. He's still behind in the count, 1-2. But if you're Steinhoff, you hate this because you just have to keep throwing pitches. You've already thrown 10 this inning, and you just want to get out of this. Already 2 outs, but Medhurst will not go away.
It's a battle and a half. And when they're seeing the ball well, you get a lot of foul balls, and that's exactly what's happening with the Pilots right here.
Medhurst stands with the bat high above his shoulders. Steinhoff awaits. Here comes the pitch. Fouled off again. You know, one very interesting thing. You notice what's not on Luke Medhurst right now?
Batting gloves.
Batting gloves.
Or anything.
Yeah, well, anything. But I was going for the batting gloves.
Yeah. I mean, he has no gear in terms of armor or padding or anything on his shoes or shins, arms, elbows.
How ball was meant to be played. Maybe. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Medhurst. Here comes the pitch, breaking way high over the head of everyone. They all duck, and then we'll go to the backstop. Evens out the count at 2 apiece. You know, the one thing I'd be worried about is blisters on your hand. Using one of these wooden bats all summer with no batting gloves, but he obviously knows what he does. I guess it's better than the metal bats because you're not getting that vibration when you hit it. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Medhurst. Steinhoff has been waiting a long time between pitches. Here it comes. Oh, they're breaking high. So, just like that, it's a full count on Medhurst. 2 away in the last of the 7th, a 5-0 Pilots lead. They have 5 runs off of 9 hits. The Bucs scoreless off of 5 hits. Not a super big difference between the hits, but the Pilots have just done a really, really good job at punching runners in. 3 balls, 2 strikes to payoff pitch. Just fouled off the inside of the plate. Well, that's dangerous with the no batting gloves because that almost beamed him in the hands.
Yeah. I was inches away from his hand, and he somehow hit it. I don't know how.
A really, really good at bat here from Luke Medhurst. Steinhoff waits, sets at his belt, the pitch. Fouled off again. Wow, Luke Medhurst is putting on a show here. You hear the fans starting to laugh. They're getting their money's worth here with him at the plate.
He's going to keep battling here with 2 outs. And it's almost, you feel like if he gets on, it's an instant rally for the Pilots, almost like the playoffs. A walk is a rally.
Medhurst to commit to San Diego, just wrapped up his senior year at Newberry Park High School in California. Another payoff pitch. It's grounded towards third base, and you guessed it, it just goes foul.
Wow. Unbelievable.
I'm trying to count here. We can pull up the stats real quick. This is what, 10 pitches this at bat? Okay,
up there.
It's up there. We'll try to count in just a second. But Medhurst will step back into the batter's box for yet another pitch. The left fielder battling here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, bases empty, 2 away. The payoff pitch is this time hit fair. It's a grounder towards short. Haas gathers, scoops, and throws. So, a 6-3 putout brings the 7th to a close. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on the base paths for the Pilots. To the 8th we go. The Bucs need some offense, trailing 5-0 here at Mulcahy. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs baseball. We go to the 8th here at Mulcahy Stadium. The Pilots still in control, 5-0. The Bucs need their bats to wake up here. They've got 6 outs to do it. Need to scratch at least 5 runs across the plate, and it starts with Jaden Toki, the 8-hitter, here in inning number 8. Halverson stays on. Jackson Halverson has been excellent. Already 3 innings of relief. First pitch is low. The reason why he's staying in for so long, despite only pitching 5 innings on the season entering today, well, these have been very quick innings. 4 batters facing the 5th, and then the minimum in the 6th and the 7th. 1-0 offering to Toki is a fastball inside, 1-1 the count.
Feels like an at-bat where Toki needs to work his way on.
I mean, you need
to
to
start something for the Bucs.
Yes. Leadoff man aboard in just 1 of 7 innings so far for the Bucs today. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Misses low. And while we mentioned the Bucs do have 5 hits on the day, they haven't been good hitting with runners on the base path. So when you don't have the leadoff guy on, it just hurts so much. 3 balls and no strikes on Jaden Toki. Late kick and pitch. It's a off speed down the middle, and we'll move it to a 3-1 count.
Hitter's count right here for Toki, but I would almost come back and maybe take another one. Because a solo shot or, a single is the same as a walk.
Yeah. You just want to get to first base down 5. 3-1 offering. Fastball misses high and inside, and Toki will gladly take the walk for his first reach of the day.
Did that quickly. Put down his bat, his stuff, all the way at first.
Well, he's been waiting a while for that reach. Didn't play yesterday. And then if you go back to Monday's outing, was hit by a pitch. He hasn't had a hit since last week, but he'll take anything. He's a young ball player, just likes to be dancing out there at first base. First pitch to Grant Haas is taken down the middle for a strike. 0-1 the count. Well, if Haas can get on, then it's really big for the Bucs. So you have the top of the lineup coming up. Kai McGarry, Logan Ewell, Sean Toger, all guys who know how to get on the base paths. The one thing you don't right now, ground ball double play. So, got to avoid that. 0-1, poked foul to the right side. What do you think? Toki a steal threat or no?
I don't think so, especially in this situation. I don't think Toki's going to take second. If you remember yesterday, Haas actually lined out into a double play in the 9th inning, and Bucs were already getting dominated, but it was a double play nevertheless, so I'm not trying to do that here.
Quickly an 0-2 count on Haas. He waves his bat. Here comes the pitch. Breaks outside. 1-2 the count. Halverson pitched 19 in the 3rd innings this past year at Sacramento State. Good numbers for a true freshman. And it's because, as you see here, he has a lot of nasty stuff. Trying to keep things going. A 4th inning of relief for the tall right-hander. The 1-2 offering. Rakes just misses the inside part of the zone.
Good take there from Grant Haas, and it's 2-2.
Really close. And just almost buckled there, but just inches inside. So to Grant Haas's favor in the box. Big pitch right here.
Runner at first base is Jaden Toki. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Grant Haas. Halverson sets and fires. It's popped up. This will be easy for the center fielder Becker. He ranges to the right and makes the grab for out number 1. Toki retreats back to first, and there's 1 away here in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, just kind of hacked at that one low and flung out his bat head way under it was Haas. So not exactly what you want as there's a mound visit here from the catcher.
Yeah, just talking things over with the top of the lineup coming here. Kai McGarry, Logan Ewell, and Sean Toger. McGarry, one of the 4 Bucs players here to record a hit. He singled back in the 4th inning. Logan Ewell, who's on deck, owns 2 of those hits, a single in the 1st, a double back in the 4th. So these are the guys you want on the base pass. Just 1 away, a runner at first. You still just got to avoid that double play. First pitch to McGarry, breaks into the zone for a strike. 0-1 the count.
Well, McGarry's tough to double up either way, so he just wants to put it in play. And another hit right here would be huge.
Bucs trying to play some small ball, down 5-0 in the 8th. 0-1. Way inside. McGarry ducks away from it. That one nearly hit his shoulder.
That was close. Almost scraped the helmet.
Small lead over at first base by Toki. Holds his hands at his knees and now drops. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's grounded softly towards short. They scoop to second. Relay throw to first, not in time. That's how fast Kai McGarry is. But a fielder's choice on the 6-4 means there's 2 away with just 1 runner on for Logan Ewell.
Well, like we said, hard to double up. Chops it on the ground. It was a tailor-made double play ball, but just a little too slow on the contact off the bat. And then McGarry beat it down. Looks like that'll finally be it. My goodness, though.
Yeah. Well, I imagine you want a lefty in here to face off against Logan Ewell, but a very, very nice outing from Jackson Halverson. And as well, I don't know. I haven't seen the call.
The pitcher's already running.
Okay. I didn't see the hand wave, but that will be the day for Halverson. So he goes 3 2/3. The dirty work has come for the Pilots as they try to close this one out. We'll see who's doing it after a quick break. 5-0 Pilots lead. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs baseball. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, a 5-0 Pilots lead. Pitching change for the Glacier Pilots here. Their second of the day. Day is over for Jackson Halverson. What an outing he had. And now just a strictly matchup switch as you bring a lefty onto the mound in Cole Simino, Simoneux, the left-hander out of Nichols State, to face off against the lefty Logan Ewell. First pitch, fastball tunnels into the bottom outside part of the zone. 0-1 the counts. 1 on with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. The Bucs need some instant offense to stay in this one. Ewell twirls the bat. Next pitch hits the outside part of the plate.
So Semino comes in and does exactly what he needs to do. 2 quick strikes. Who knows if he'll stay in for the 9th. This is strictly to get the one left-handed hitter in Logan Yule. No balls, 2 strikes, runner at first. Semino sets and throws. Breaking ball poked towards left field. Chasing back is Medhurst. He stops in front of the track and makes the grab for out number 3. Just 3 pitches for Cole Semino, but he does his job. Gets the out, and that is a scoreless top of the 8th for the Bucs. We'll go to the last of the inning. Still a 5-0 Glacier Pilots lead. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs baseball. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, we go to the last of the 8th. The Bucs trailing the Pilots 5-0. They'll need some 9th inning magic, but first you gotta keep this at just a 5-run deficit, and the Bucs turn to their top closer, Jack Giordano, to do just that. 4 games played, 4 innings pitched. He just does 1 inning every time, but they've been pretty darn effective. A 4.5 ERA skewed by 1 outing. He's only given up 3 hits and 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. Milo, what can we expect out of Giordano?
Pure gas, followed up by a nasty off-speed curveball and slider. So he says he likes to go to the curveball against the lefties and the slider against the righties. So unbelievable velo from Giordano. So impressive because, I mean, we talked to him a bunch. He just started throwing as a pitcher in January. And now all of a sudden he's, you know, closer for the Bucs. High leverage pitcher for San Diego. So just jumped on the scene.
Scotty Fagan comes to the plate. It'll be a righty that Giordano has to face off against first. Kind of surprising to see him come in with his team down so much. We expected him to be the saves guy. First pitch bounces in the dirt on a fastball, 1-0 the count. Already 2 saves on the season, one of the only pitchers in the league to reach the multi-save mark. What Milo was talking about, he wasn't a pitcher through high school, he wasn't a pitcher through the fall semester, but then in January he was throwing around and realized, you know what, the coaching staff, they liked it. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's dribbled up the middle. Haas charges in, gloves it, and throws to first in time, a 6-3 putout. And when he started throwing, he realized, I can throw a baseball very fast, probably faster than a lot of his teammates.
Yeah.
He was originally committed as a catcher, did a little bit of catching, but has now basically gone all in on the pitching route. That's what he'll be doing this summer and most likely next year as well, because when he can touch 97, 98, can't waste that talent behind the plate. First pitch, fastball outside to Weston Mazie, the left-handed West Virginia University commit. He's been playing over at second base today. Here's the 1-0 offering. Breaking pitch. Hits the outside part of the zone. We continue our series of yellow batting gloves. Mazie has them. Where's he committed? West Virginia, a yellow school.
Yeah.
It's been the pattern this year. We've seen him from only yellow schools. 1-1 pitch. Golfed foul down the right side.
Well, Luke Taylor looks like a transformer.
Yeah, he does. He has his all Long Beach
like
State.
Yeah. It's all over the place.
Peeks out and all across his catching armor. 1 ball and 2 strikes quickly here on Mazie. Here's the next pitch.
Oh.
Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Straight heat from Jack Giordano, and there's 2 away in the last of the 8th.
Just right on by. If you have that in the back of your bag, why not go to it as much as you can? Wow.
Dylan Marks.
So it's up to Dylan Marks to keep the inning going. The Pilots obviously hoping that this is the last time they'll bat here today. They just need 3 outs on offense to end this game in the top of the 9th. But hey, they'd love a little more insurance. Giordano sets very low below his belt and fires. First pitch, fastball swung on and missed by Marks. No one can touch it in this league, it seems.
It's unbelievable. And it's funny because he was actually roughed up in his first time, but ever since then, he's like dominant. And when he gets going fast, good pace, he's on.
No balls and 1 strike. Next pitch from Giordano. This one bounces in the dirt. That's been the one slight concern. A couple of times we've seen the pitches get away from Taylor. But what works is there's never been anyone on the base paths because it just gives up not a lot of base runners.
Can afford it.
1 ball and no strikes on the right-handed Marks. 2 for 4 today. Next pitch breaks into the zone for a called strike.
And I thought it was I thought it'd be 1 and 2 now.
Should be 1 and 2. We'll see what the scoreboard says. Umpire
1 and 2.
flashes 1 and 2. Okay, so 1 ball and 2 strikes on the right-handed Marks. We'll clear that up here. Bucs trailing 5-0, trying to get out of this inning unscathed. Next pitch, breaking ball swung on and missed. Giordano happy after that one. He retires the side in the bottom of the 8th with 2 Ks and a ground out. The Bucs, it's rally time here. They trail 5-0 as we enter the top half of the 9th. Maybe there's a rally. Stick around and see. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs baseball. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, the Bucs need a rally, trailing 5-0 as we enter the top half of the 9th inning. Cole Simino will stay in for a first full inning of work. Came in the 8th and got 1 line out to end the inning. He faces off against Sean Toger, lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch sails outside. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Well, the Bucs need 5 runs to keep this game going. The problem, they haven't scored a single run in 16 straight innings. 1-0 pitch breaks outside. 2 balls and no strikes on the lefty Toger. He swings his bat, came in as the designated hitter in the 6th inning and struck out swinging. Next pitch down the middle. 2 balls and a strike. Seminole, we mentioned, out of Nichols State, as a true freshman, pitched 32 innings. Here's the 2-1 offering, poked down the left field line, sails towards the Bucs dugout out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike. Toger rests the bat on his left shoulder and now readies for the 2-2 offering from Seminole. Here it comes, breaks outside, and we'll go full on Toger.
You know, you can work your way on. Down 5, it's still possible.
You need to get some hits. Doesn't matter home run or single. You just need to get runners on the base. 3-2 pitch lined in the left field down for a base hit. Sean Toger's aboard, and hey, that's what you need to do. 6th hit of the day for the Bucs, and there's a runner at first with no outs.
Took the pitch, goes the opposite way. It was a pitch outside, so just really, really nice piece of hitting. Way to get on. Now it's a good part of the lineup to try to do some damage.
So you have Landon Underhill, Luke Taylor, and Austin Gamel due up. Underhill
has been very impressive this season, but a quiet day. 0 for 3 with a fielder's choice in the fourth. First pitch taken high for a ball, 1-0 the counts. Cole Simino has been pretty impressive this year. Had one outing where he kind of struggled, but he's been a guy that comes in high leverage situations, making his fourth appearance of the year, and just a 2.08 ERA. 1-0 pitch taken high and outside, and we'll move it to a 2-0 count. We're going to see a quick mound visit here as Burgalt trots out to the mound to have a quick word with his left-handed pitcher. Well, Simino came in inning number 8 to face off against the lefty Yule. It just so happens that the next two guys due up in the 9th, Sean Toger and Landon Underhill, also lefties. That played to the favor of the coaching staff for the Pilots. You never know, though. After this lefty expires and you have Luke Taylor coming to the plate, you might see a change. 2-0 offering to Underhill, taken just low, and we'll move it to a 3-0 count.
3-0, and listen, don't go away now. It's trying to get on two guys.
Simino fires, and the pitch is inside. So, Landon Underhill will take his bags. There's a runner at first and second base with no outs here in the 9th. And you have your power guy, Luke Taylor, coming to the plate. Taylor trying for his first hit in a couple of days. Yesterday went 0 for 4. It was his first time all season not reaching. He got back on the base paths today with a hit by pitch in the 4th. They did not record a hit, trying for his first hit since Monday, a 1 for 5 performance. He readies in the righty's batter's box. First pitch swung on and missed.
Right through that fastball on the inside part of the plate. You don't want to swing too heavy right now. You try to just get on base and keep the line moving.
It's been small ball this inning. A single and a walk from the first two batters. Taylor would love to do the same thing with Austin Gamel, his left fielder, on deck. No balls, one strike. Next pitch to Taylor. Taken for a strike down the middle. Off speed there from Simino.
Taylor just seems a little He's not picking up the ball as well as he used to. So just to dig back in, down 2 strikes. He's good with 2 strikes when he's on.
Runners take their leads at first and second base. Here's the 0-2. Swung on in. Taylor just gets a piece of it. Just staying alive there.
Barely. That was a ball inside that he swung at. Just got a piece to stay alive, so let back in.
Two runners on, no outs. Bucs trail 5-0 in the 9th inning of play. Needing some magic to avoid a 3-game losing streak. Bucs haven't scored in over a game worth of innings. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Breaking just misses outside. Simino started to walk off the mound. Thought he had a good pitch here. But Luke Taylor will stay now down in the count 1-2.
Yeah. That just missed, and sometimes all it takes is a close call to go your way for Taylor to turn back on.
Big leads over at first and second. Don't think we'll see any steal attempts. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Taylor fouls it off again. That was just off the tip of his bat.
Yeah, and this is what you like to see from Taylor. He's battling up there. He's trying to stay alive. Foul off every pitch that's remotely close to the zone. He's doing so right now. Still down in the count 1-2, so has some work to do.
He's a player that naturally has a very even middle swing, so it's impressive when he can battle off these high and low pitches that have been thrown by Simino. Second inning of work for the left-hander, trying to get out of this situation. 2 on with no outs. Here's the 1-2 offering. It's hit on a line towards left field and drops for a base hit in front of Medhurst. All runners advance, and there is the bases loaded with no outs here in the top of the 9th.
Well, look at that. Taylor finally breaks his hitless streak. Board first with a knock to left. Brought his hands in. Really nice piece of hitting. And now Gamel with a big at-bat here. Bases are loaded. Bucs aren't going away quietly.
Still a lot of work to do, but the bases are juiced. Bucs trail 5-0 in the top of the 9th. No outs. Austin Gamel, the righty at the plate. First pitch, the lefty, taken for a strike, and we'll move it to an 0-1 count. A lefty-on-lefty battle here between Simino and Gamel. Taylor at first, Underhill at second, Toger at third.
The runner on deck is Nate Muncy. He's the game's tying run right now. 0-1 pitch, grounded right back to the pitcher. He'll throw to home for the force out, and they go to first in time. A 1-2-3 double play, and that puts a dent in the hopes and dreams of the Bucs here in the 9th.
Wow. I mean, just a really heads-up play from Simino to shovel to home plate. And then Bergholt just had the time and awareness to fire over to first. So just like that, the energy kind of sucked out.
You don't see that a lot. 1-2-3 double play. Nate Muncy at the plate with 2 away, 2 on. Hits the first pitch, grounded up the middle, darting over his marks. He throws on the sidearm, and it's off the glove of the first baseman, Klotz. 1 runs in to score. Sliding in is Luke Taylor, and 2 runs come across the plate. The Bucs back on the scoreboard for the first time since yesterday. It's 5-2 with 2 away here in the 9th.
Avoid the shutout. Nice for Nate Muncy to hit it up the middle there in kind of no man's land. It was a good attempt, but just no cigar on that off-balance throw.
It's the first error for either team today. Now there's a runner at first with 2 away for Jaden Toki. First pitch to the right-hander. Fastball just misses outside.
And Toki gets on. Tying run. Grant Haas will come up.
I was going to say, we are seeing a clean game by both teams for, I believe, the first time this season. It breaks on one of the final batters of the day. Here's the 1-0 to Toki. Big swing and a miss. And that's what happens when you have a young ball player at the plate. You see a fastball and you really want to chase it. But here in the 9th with 2 outs, you just have to wait for your pitch. Runner at first base is Nate Muncy. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 away. Here's the next pitch. Fastball taken for a strike. So he swings at 1 and watches 1 blow by him for a strike, and the Bucs are down to their last strike of the game. 5-2, Pilots lead 2 away, runner at first here in the top of the 9th. Simino looks towards home, now sets at his chest. The 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3, straight heat from Cole Simino, and just like that, the Bucs have dropped 3 in a row for the first time in 2 years. 5-2, the Pilots defeat the Bucs, and the ABL standings come a lot closer here on this Wednesday night.
Yep, the Miners are trying to fight back into their game against the Chinooks if they can complete the comeback, and they'll be tied for first place with the Bucs here in the ABL right now, down 8-7 in the 8th inning. But the Bucs offense has just been quiet. Good to see the offense come alive there late in the 9th inning somewhat off the error. It scored 2 runs. But still, it's 8 innings of no runs heading into the 9th. It's been a struggle.
As the standings hold right now, the Bucs up half a game on the Miners, and right on their heels, the Pilots, a game and a half out. This week has just turned everything around. The Bucs entered Monday's matchup against the Miners up 3 games, but now 3 straight losses for Anchorage has made this a very, very interesting week of the regular season, and it shows you there's a lot of parity in this league as we enter the final 2/3 of this season. Bucs dropped to 7-4, Pilots back to 500, 5-5 in the year. We'll be back with totals in just a second. Don't go anywhere. This is Anchorage Bucs Baseball. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, a 5-2 win for the Glacier Pilots over the Bucs brings the season series just a tad bit closer. The Bucs still ahead 2-1, but a very tough loss for the Bucs, who dropped 3 in a row for the first time in 2 seasons and need to do some soul searching heading into tomorrow's matchup against the Chinooks. So we'll bring you your totals now from a very interesting game of baseball. It all started back in the first with a 2-run first inning for the Glacier Pilots. That's all they needed, and because of that, RJ Rue takes the loss. 2-1 the record for the Bucs starter. Jackson Halverson gets the win. 3 2/3 innings of excellent relief. Gave up just 1 hit, no runs, 4 strikeouts, and 1 walk. And you got to give your major kudos to BJ Rodriguez. 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts, and then Cole Cimino came in to close things out. 1 1/3 innings, giving up 2 hits and 2 runs that weren't earned. But the pitching, the story of the day for the Glacier Pilots.
I mean, it just looked brilliant. Starting with BJ Rodriguez, like you said, and then the bullpen was unbelievable. Cimino and Halverson were unhittable. Now the Bucs lineup has been struggling, but they looked in command from the second they stepped out on the mound for the Pilots. So that's a strength of theirs, clearly. Yesterday, they gave up 2 runs in 5 innings to the Miners, so they're on a little bit of a run right here, is the Pilots bullpen, so they're trying to keep it up as the season continues to crawl along.
A quiet day offensively for the Bucs. The only shining star, Logan Yule, who went 2 for 4, had the Bucs' lone extra base hit today, a double, but they cannot turn that into anything. Nate Muncy with a pair of late RBIs on a reach on air in the 9th inning. That's how the Bucs got to that 2, but before that had gone 16 straight innings without a run. We mentioned RJ Rue, the losing pitcher today. 3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs. Really just all came apart in the 3rd, and then they had to turn things over to Grady Ferris, who looked solid. 2 innings pitched with 1 run given up, 1 hit. John Witt with a scoreless inning. Anthony Steinoff with a scoreless inning. And Jack Giordano did a very good 1-2-3 in the 8th, but that's all the Bucs needed. Not what they needed on defense. They needed some offense to wake up. That just did not happen today.
And the offense has been held silent for a while, and you got to look yourself in the mirror if you're the Bucs and come back tomorrow. You're in Chugiak to face the Chinooks, and it's a game that you want quick revenge on, as the Chinooks beat the Bucs yesterday. So you want to keep it going and, stay positive. Positive thoughts. You're still in first place. And listen, it's early on in the season, and that's baseball. You're going to go into slumps like this, so it's just about breaking out of them.
An offense demolishing for the Pilots today. They had a bunch of multi-hit games. 2 for 5 for Dylan Marks, 2 for 5 for Andrew Becker, 2 for 3 for Adam Bergolt, and then 2 for 4 out of BJ Rodriguez, who has to be your player of the game because one of those hits, a 2-run shot that really opened this game up.
Oh, it was an absolute pimp shot over to right, and it was the BJ Rodriguez game. Started off the game, then had a single, homer, and just even his out was a line out to right field. So just really good for BJ Rodriguez all around. Impressive stuff.
Well, the silver lining for the Bucs, no errors on the loss. 9 hits for the Glacier Pilots and 1 error, 6 hits and no errors for the Bucs, but not enough for Anchorage, the Bucs, to get by the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. 5-2, your final score here from Mulcahy Stadium. We're back in action tomorrow. The Bucs traveling to Lee Jordan Field for a 6 p.m. first pitch against the Chugiak Chinooks. We'll be on the air starting at 5:45 with all your pre-game coverage. You can catch me and Milo on the call then. But that's just about all the time we have here tonight from Mulcahy Stadium. Your final score: it's the Anchorage Glacier Pilots 5, the Anchorage Bucs 2. For Milo Hoffman, my name's Alex Burstein, saying so long and good night.